Oh, ooh, I'm excited. All right. Okay. Okay. When last we left you, Blue Hearts, you entered the tomb of Heraeth's ancestors, the previous legendary Skalds, in order to pass their trials and prove Heraeth worthy of possessing the stone. You made your way through the tomb, passing trials of wits, heart, and might, to at last stand before the stone. Heraeth claimed it for herself, taking her next step toward becoming the next Skald of Legend and unlocking further mysteries into the power of her blood. So that is where we pick up. With the stone in hand, your adventure to obtain these magical artifacts is quickly drawing to a close. You have only to return to Dagald, and then to plot your next moves in retrieving the final stone and wrapping up loose ends. Blue Hearts, what do you wish to do?
Go to
Avatar
sleep.
stones aren't attunement, right? They're just there.
They slot into a currently attuned item. So in your
Okay,
case,
so
they would slot
yeah.
into your viola, the new one that you made.
Does that mean the Death Ward effect goes into effect now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, boy.
As soon as it's attuned.
Look at Heraeth has so many
I
buffs.
don't remember what they
Oh, look at
are.
all those buffs.
One
One's
of them was
foresight,
true
one's
sight,
contingency, one's true seeing, probably.
The eyeball is true seeing. I don't remember what the cyclone is. Oh,
Probably.
No.
I know you had a contingency that you haven't used yet, and I know you have foresight.
did I use haste? I don't think I used haste.
No, she used. Heraeth did use her contingency.
Oh,
yeah,
did
I
you?
think I
Okay.
used that.
Well, then I
that
don't know.
was the. That was the.
Oh, I
the
used mislead.
mislead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mislead. You right.
Remember what? I think the fist. I don't
Oh,
remember what
excuse
the fist
me.
is. Oh, I think it's mind blank. One of them is mind
Yeah.
blank. Okay.
Yeah.
Mind blank.
Well, I'll just slap another one on there.
Okay. All right.
Actually use for-
So now you've obtained your 6 of 7 Avatar Stones.
Oh shit.
Well, who's slacking?
Quickly drawing to a close on this one.
Yeah.
You're gonna
You're
have to awaken all
level
these stones.
17.
Yeah, you're gonna have to awaken all these stones. You're gonna have to start wrapping up loose ends, go to the abyss,
Do
do
we
all that other
wanna-
fun stuff.
Well, I
Do
need
we
to
wanna-
open the stupid. Where's roll 20?
I know we've literally just started, but do we want to sit down and take a rest?
Yeah, I was joking, but if we have to. We do just have a big.
Yeah, I
fight.
mean, we don't know what's gonna happen.
And also, aren't the cloak shadows on the way?
That okay, let me clarify what I mean by that out of character. In character, we quote fingers. We don't know what's gonna happen. I'm kind of doing the quote finger thing with my hands. But out of character, that was a looming plot point. Falk very much made very clear. So if we have any danger to face,
How dare you?
immediately after this, it's gonna happen because they're gonna be there. Like
I don't
why?
know what
What?
you're
Like
talking
why
about.
wouldn't they be? So I think
Also, we are actually aware that the cloak shadows are on their way.
Yes, exactly. So
We
that's
want
true.
to rest in the mansion immediately. What time of day even is it?
It's morning still. You guys, what do you think it is? It's fucking like 10 a.m.
Of course,
Probably
it's
earlier.
always 10 a.m.
It's always
Oh.
like 10 a.m. or noon. And
I'm
it
gonna
was
Early
so
like,
to
love
bed,
it.
early to rise.
I'm gonna like it in the next campaign
when
where
I went
we
to sleep
actually do
today.
short rests and shit a lot more, and people chill.
That's
Oh god, I forgot to choose my fucking.
we don't have time to chill.
Yeah,
The
we can
moon's
probably-
coming. It's falling. The moon is falling.
The
Wake
moon
up.
is falling.
Wake up! It's falling!
Holy shit.
Ah,
Oh man.
Do we want to do a short rest? That's what, 30 minutes?
30 minutes,
Yeah,
yep.
I say
Yeah, we
we
could
You're gonna hang out in
probably-
this musty tomb and chill
I
for 30
will-
minutes?
I will play a quiet, restive song on the viola. I will give everybody an additional 1d12 roll.
Oh boy.
I will cast a Mass Cure Wounds too. So
Actually, I think I rolled a d12, sorry. 10 hit points.
okay,
Nice.
so that's 10 from Heraeth, and then I'm giving everyone
Don't forget you have hit dice. Like
No, yeah, I'm gonna do that too. This is just to help. So I'm 22. So in addition to her race, that's 32 on top of whatever hit dice people want me to roll.
Oh, 22.
I'll just type into plus 32 HP.
for everybody. This is Herates
Forever.
and Gops combined.
Well, mine's limited to 6, so it would just be everyone except for Roscoe and Ellen
Okay.
would get that.
Yeah, because those
Because
two are
They're
perfectly
basically.
fucking
I mean,
fine.
Roscoe is. I mean,
Roscoe's
Ros-
immortal.
I mean, they're gonna get the rest die. They're gonna get the 10.
Yeah, and Roscoe gets all his key points back.
But everyone else gets the 30, the extra 22.
Don't forget yourself, by the way.
Me?
Yeah, you have 32.
I know.
HP,
I'm
right?
working. I got my eye on it. I'm working on it.
I know.
Yeah, I am.
I have to do my hit dice.
How did I roll a 7?
That's a really good question. Oh, because it adds your Constitution modifier.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
so
what?
whenever you roll a hit dice, you take the roll and add your Con mod, and that's how much HP you get back.
Okay, that makes sense.
Wow.
Oof.
We're
Gotten 2 4s, and a 3.
Yikes.
Even in roll 20.
I think,
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Damn,
I think
nice.
Roscoe doesn't really need to spend any hit
No,
dice.
Roscoe is 2 HP down. He's fine.
Look at all these hit dice. I'm like half asleep. I don't know where my character is anymore.
I could.
It's just
Ellen.
just a
Good.
constant stream.
Yeah, Verna and Maya are still hurting.
I
Well,
know. Let me think.
Hi.
It's kind of cute.
Ooh, nice.
Damn, there you
Ooh.
go. Big money.
I'm just gonna use
Does Verna
3.
really only have like a +2 con?
Yes.
She had more than that.
No, glass cannon.
Glass cannon.
There it is. Well, don't forget you have to add your con mod to all of that.
Oh my god! Ah! I don't want to change it. Fuck. You see how much HP I have?
Yeah, you're gonna have to change it.
Ugh. Fuck. Bullshit.
What did you do to your HP, Patty? What did you do?
Oh my god.
Is that it? Do other people see the number?
I
Yes.
do.
Wait, no, I didn't see it.
It's there.
What did you do?
That's. Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Where's Burmy? I gotta draw Burmy again.
Oh no, it's getting worse.
Oh no.
Why is that happening?
There you go. Okay,
There we are.
that's scary.
I'm gonna roll tackles hit die a couple times.
Tackle.
Don't forget the
The,
plus 10 from Herates.
I already did that.
There aren't
I
any
didn't do that.
limitations on the magical secret spells, right?
Correct. It can be from
Oh,
any.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's a lot of ninth levels I get to look at.
Yes, you do. Well, you
Oh.
still only have one 9th level spell slot.
Oh, I
so...
know, but think about it.
But think about it. You could just have a meteor swarm.
I could just
Eldritch
get
Ballad.
Wish.
Stepping on my territory?
Do you have Wish?
Me?
Yeah.
No meteor.
I
I,
mean, I
wasn't.
don't
I wasn't gonna get Meteor
Sorcerers
Swarm.
can get wish.
I mean, I don't have it, but I can take it if I
Wizards
want
and
to.
sorcerers can get wish.
Yeah, but Meteor Swarm.
Yeah, but meteor swarm.
I like how there's a spell called Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Weird is an interesting spell for a 9th level. I'm not really sure what its
Cast
niche
There is
is.
a slightly weirder. There's a slightly weaker spell that's like that at like 4 or 5 called Mental Cage or
Yeah,
something that
yeah,
I
yeah.
like a lot. But I
Mental
don't know about
Prison.
9th level. Yeah, Mental Prison's really cool.
Yeah. Regarding 9th levels, like basically, I figured Sissa would take Meteor Swarm unless she had a good, specific reason for using Wish. Which she
Free
might.
Samael.
Which you might.
Yeah.
You never know what your dastardly GM is going to to come up with.
Oh yeah, we'll see.
You
We'll
never
see if I
You might want to
I-
use a
if we
wish
survive the
to
next
break-
couple levels.
You never
I
know.
understand.
You might want to use a wish to free this little weird demon doll?
No,
I
no.
feel like this spell doesn't need to be 9th level.
What weird?
Yeah, it feels like it should
Yeah.
be more of an 8th or 7th level spell.
It doesn't
like,
feel
the
like
the damage consistently hitting something would be ridiculous, but like, I mean, when you're like
also
in you have 9th levels,
concentration.
yeah, it's concentration. It only lasts a minute, and like, it's a wisdom save, and a lot of things that you're gonna be fighting at like that high level is probably gonna
Yeah,
have a
and as
decent
soon as
wisdom
they-
save.
And then as soon as they succeed on the save, they're
it's
just
gone.
done.
Yeah, it just feels like it's not. It's like for a 9th level
I
spell
know.
slot, it's not a lot.
It's pretty. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get why weird is in there. Like Meteor Swarm, Wish, those types of spells, even Time Stop are like really good 9th level spells.
I think it's just
Foresight.
the subclasses that get it, I guess. Maybe it makes more
Only
sense
Wizard
for them.
get it.
The subclasses are Arcana Cleric, Arcane Trickster Rogue, Eldritch Knight.
Oh.
Oh.
So it would make more sense for them if that's like
Well,
the only
wait,
9th level they can
that-
do.
How can Arcane Tricksters and Eldritch Knights get? They don't get 9th level spells.
This is both. They include all wizard spells.
Yeah, I think it's just
Spells
because
at 5th
those.
level or higher may be cast with the aid of a spell scroll or similar. So you
Right,
would
so
have to
they
have a
so they can get a scroll, but they can't. And it would be harder for them to cast because they won't have
It-
9th level spell slots. But
Have we ever gotten a spell scroll in this campaign and used it?
I think we
you
have
got
like
some
once or
early on, but then you
twice.
never used them, so I stopped putting them in loot tables.
Heh.
Gate
don't
is
have
also a
any.
really cool 9th level spell.
Gate is a really cool spell.
Also mass heal. If you just had 2 people with mass heal.
You know what else is a good spell? Gay, not just gate.
Yeah, I looked it up. It's not in 5e tools now.
Fuck!
You just cast the spell gay, and like all straight people in a 5-mile radius are just gone.
Just wiped out of existence.
Wow.
Be gone.
Be gone.
That's
Alright.
that's the power of the gay agenda.
So you've all taken a nice long rest.
Oh?
Long? Short?
no,
Short.
no, sleeping.
Like a big ol' sleep in the
No,
Dude, I just had to
fell
do a
asleep in the tomb for 8 hours. No,
Yes. Spent a bunch of fucking hit dice. I
Sorry.
did not take a long rest.
it's a short rest. You've spent some time in this tomb just sort of taking a breather after the trials, but now it is time to leave.
Yeah.
What, do you,
Yeah.
what is your plan? What is your next goal?
Well, we
Let's-
gotta
we
get out of
should
this
talk
cave.
to Don.
What?
Yeah, Donnie's out there.
Yeah, we need to leave this cave first and foremost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of cold. Let's get out into the sunlight.
Hey, there were other chambers. Do we want to check them out, or do we want to leave
I
that
thought-
for later?
Didn't we go
No,
into all the
I
chambers?
remember there were like
There
There were
were-
like some
there were branches,
adjacent
but
paths
it
to
looked like they were
branch.
mostly just they're mostly just like places for bodies to be.
Yeah, they're
right?
just tombs, really.
Oh,
There were the actual.
I'm not sure
body.
if Falk is hiding a treasure chest down one of these
You're
options.
certainly welcome to look.
I mean, if you want to
I
look
mean,
at some
it's-
corpses.
It's your
open
it's your
turn.
But
bloodline.
also, do you want to go tomb raiding in
Tomb.
your own ancestor's
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
that, and
that-
also
that's weird.
I'm currently a little concerned about the ancestor that's outside and all of the people that are on their way to try and steal what I just got.
Or may already be there because we took a short rest.
Yeah, you know.
So
know.
they're powerful at night. Remember? It's
That-
morning.
They might have magic to.
They just need shadows. There are shadows being cast by the sun.
Fucking ninjas.
Ninja.
Well, let's leave this cave.
Yep.
Let's leave this cave.
Let's leave.
Let's do
Hey,
this shit.
Let's leave
let's
this
leave the
cave.
cave.
All right, you proceed outward toward the waiting light of the cold day once more, and as you step outside, the biting air greets you once again. You take a deep breath of the frigid wind, and your eyes adjust to the light once more. You all step out onto the lip of this cliffside, and your eyes adjust, and you can't help but feel, at least I would say probably Hiraeth, Goth, those with the highest perception, passive. You feel on edge. You feel like the hairs on your back of your neck standing up. Something is wrong.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Can I roll an act check to see?
I would say that with your passive perception, you don't even need to. You
Okay.
feel the hair on the back of your neck stand up, and you spin around, and immediately you see there are two figures who are perched on the rock just above the cave entrance, and they're watching you. You see two dwarven men. One you recognize. It's the older man you once encountered in the Highlands, Dania's grandfather, Ulag. He stares at you with these piercing eyes and strokes his Fu Manchu mustache, and next to him is a younger man with you haven't seen before, with long, flowing orange hair, piercing blue eyes, and a long beard. And although you haven't seen him before, he does seem to bear a familiar resemblance to Danya.
Mm.
And the two watch you for a moment until they realize that you've all noticed them. They're not making any effort to hide their presence. And then Ulag speaks to you, and he says, "No sudden movements, lest you want the coward to perish." And then he looks toward you, Hiraeth, and he says, "Your brother has some words to trade with you."
If anything happens to her, it won't be words that were traded.
"Then we're in agreement, Steel Song."
All right then, where is he?
Was he referring to
He's
Degald or to
referring
Danya?
To Degald.
Oh, wait. They might have been talking. Oh well.
As you...
I'll retcon to say either of them.
Okay. He says, "When we're in agreement, I'd advise you to do what your brother says. He's not in his right mind." So, yeah,
Pretty
sorry.
interesting of you to admit that. You still choose to follow him.
Well, I have my reasons, but I don't want bloodshed on my hands this day. He points down toward the courtyard. And when you look in the direction that he's pointing, you see there are 5 figures down below. 3 of them are standing off to one side. You see a dwarven woman with graying brown hair that falls sloppily across her shoulders. She wears a blindfold, and jewelry drapes her form, despite her otherwise mercenary-looking appearance, wearing dark black leathers. And next to her is a young dwarven man, perhaps younger than Danya. He has the beginning hairs of a mustache and beard, but his red hair is tied back into a ponytail, and his skin is broken with a severe case of acne. And before the two of them, you see Danya. Her hands are bound behind her back. The two have clearly subdued her. At the edge of the cliffside, you see Degald. His hands are bound and a gag has been shoved into his mouth. But the real center of attraction, the main event, is the figure standing just behind him, with a sword blade held to Degald's throat. Hiraeth, you see your brother Magram. He bares his gritted teeth, and his one good eye stares straight up at you in an unflinching gaze. And as soon as he locks eyes with you, he shouts, and his manic voice can be heard above the wind. "Oh, sister! We need to talk."
Sorry. I wasn't prepared for crazy voice.
I will kind of show that my hands are empty because I've put my instrument or weapon or whatever away, and I'll approach to a more normal conversational distance or whatever whatever is allowed.
Okay.
I kind of look between Degald and the sword and Margrim. I am going to... I'm not sure what you think that's going to do.
Hiraeth, as you get closer and you get a better look at Magram, no, in fact, all of you get closer and see this. He looks haggard. He looks uncomposed. He looks tired. His eye darts about between Hiraeth and all of her friends wildly, as if he could snap at a moment's notice. Hiraeth, something has changed in your brother. This is no longer a confident man who once tried to betray you. He is different. He looks desperate. And as you near him, his lip curls up to a sneer, and he responds to you. And he says, "Oh, Hiraeth, I see you're looking well. Good. That's good. Sister, I know we've had our differences. I've made some mistakes. I admit to that, but believe me when I say I'm glad you're still alive." He just looks at you, just trying to gauge your reaction.
She looks a little confused. Her brow kind of knits together, and she's trying to figure out how to approach a situation she obviously imagined would come about in a very different way. Margrim, what do you want? How can I help you?
Glad you said that, Wraith. I do need your help. You see, I need your help to end this curse on our bloodline, to save our family, save Mom, and Dad, and Farrar, and every other Steel Song who has ever lived and whoever will live. This is bigger than sibling rivalry now. He swallows hard, and he just looks to you, and then he looks to the Gald, and then back to you.
Sorry, I'm clicking on this.
No, it's fine.
The curse, do you mean our blood, or is this something different? What are you talking about?
When you respond, you see that Magrim's face contorts in this look of pain, and his eye flits to the Gald and then back to you, and then he scowls and he says, "Of course, he hasn't told you, has he?" And he presses the blade more into the Gald's throats. You see a little trickle of blood starting to flow, and he says, "Go on, old man, tell her the truth. Tell her the reality of this and the burden the Skald must endure. After all, you are to blame as much as anybody else who came before you." "Oh, what's that? You can't talk. You're gagged." "Oh, that's all for the better then. You just spew more lies." And Magrim stares back at you, Hiraeth, and he says, "Sister, have you ever asked yourself about the spirits that we can summon when we invoke our power? Where they come from? Do you know?"
They just assumed they were heroes. I've considered it, sure, but I didn't think too far into it.
Every spirit that stands in battle with us, Steel Song's all. From the very moment our ancestors made the pact with Kelemvor 5,000 years ago, every one of them. But not just Skalds. Craftsmen, merchants, civilians, the young and the old, fit and the infirm, those who knew battle and those who never picked up a sword in their lives, those who were born into this bloodline, those who married in or had any relation to us whatsoever, each and every Steel Song drafted into an eternal war at the call of those who can invoke the power. Their spirits never to know peace and death, sealed within Kelemvor's cauldron, sworn to fight on our behalf forever and ever until the sun ceases to warm Athara. And that will be your fate, and my fate, and Mom and Dad and Farrar and every Steel Song that ever lives beyond us, forever. You can see his eyes are straining, and he looks like he's on the verge of tears.
I know he's gagged, but I'm going to kind of look at Dagald, and I'm going to say, they know that. Was that part of the arrangement when it was made? Did they willingly accept that term?
Although Dagald is gagged, he sort of averts his gaze from you. He has this kind of look of shame in his eyes. Magrim is actually the one who answers you. He says, "Wraith, when the precursors first made the pact, they wanted a family, you see. A bloodline of carriers that would keep safe the most important Avatar Stone, the one to lead the song of creation. And they chose our family entirely at random. Isn't that funny? But Kelemvor would not give such power lightly. He required a pact to be made between himself and our ancestors. Our blood and the power it brings would be built up like the stones drawn from the strength of our lineage, dooming any who ever bore the Steel Song name to know war forever. Our souls held apart in the cauldron, far from the city of the dead, far from the halls of the dwarven heroes. And they made this pact willingly, without any consideration of those who would follow them.
So what are you suggesting to do to break?
You see him kind of loosen his grip on this, like moving the sword a little bit away from Dagald's neck, threatening him a little less. He looks away from you for a moment. He says, "Sister, when I learned about this, I tried to find all manner of way to get out of it. Some loophole, some way to defy the web of fate, but there isn't any. There is only one way out." And he looks back to you and he says, "The Skald, the one who bears the Avatar Stone, they alone can renegotiate the deal with Kelemvor. But the Judge of the Dead has his own cruel sense of irony. In exchange for freeing all those souls trapped in the cauldron, releasing our lineage, the Steel Songs, from this duty forevermore, the Skald who changes the pact must take their ancestors' place, one soul for 1,000. That Skald would be eternally alone, never to see their friends or family ever again, but the rest of the Steel Songs would be free."
Just out of a sense of questioning how he knows all this, insight check on the stuff he's saying
Sure, give me an insight check.
to see if he truly believes everything he's saying 100%, or if he's like guessing. Insight of 29.
Koff, you are not predisposed to like Magram.
Oh, I hate him.
And you know, especially after what he tried to do to Haraith, and you know how deceitful he can be. But he seems to earnestly believe what he's saying. So if this is a ruse of any sort, or if this is some misunderstanding, then Magram is
A victim.
the finest performer in the multiverse. He is.
Or that.
Yeah. And furthermore, looking at Dagald and the look in his eyes as Magram is speaking, this absolute look of shame averting his gaze from Haraith, you seem to think there's truth in what Magram is saying.
Okay. Carry on.
Haraith, you see Magram once again start pressing the sword into Dagald's throat again. He says, "Of course, this one knew of this burden. He had the choice. He had the chance, like all of them, to do the right thing. But like all other Skalds before him, he was a coward. In the end, he decided to bargain with fate, hoping one of us later would do what needed to be done so that he and all the others could be free. And then the one who made the sacrifice would be imprisoned eternally." And he looks back to you, Haraith, and he says, "Sister, now that you know the truth, I have only one to ask of you. And I will say this only once." And you see him take his free hand, the one not holding the sword, and he holds it out toward you in this desperate clutching motion. And he says, "Give me the stone. It must be me and no other."
You'd be ready to throw yourself into that cauldron? Is that not what you're trying to escape?
Hiraeth, I've done terrible things. And I know you may not believe it, but the fact that I almost killed my sister still weighs on me. That alone is unforgivable, but most of all, I know that Mother and Father always loved you more. And they would be devastated if it was you. And I don't want that. So, please, Hiraeth, just this once, let me be the hero.
I'm going to roll an insight check based on what I know about Magrim and his relationship with me and our parents.
Okay.
That is a 22.
How much?
22.
You know that your brother has always desperately tried to keep up with you. He's seen himself as a rival, someone who has had to compete against you, to compete for not only expressing his talent, but also for your parents' attention. But you know he does care a lot about your parents. And the emotion he is expressing right now is one of absolute grief and desperation and feeling like he has no other recourse.
Yuri's going to look down for a second. She's going to take a deep breath and sigh slowly through her nose, and she's going to look up and she's going to say, she looks actually really profoundly sad in this moment. She said, "I want you to come home, you know. You think this is how you're going to win it? They're going to fondly remember you for your sacrifice for us and our family and everybody else.
There's no other way.
Do you know that's true? Have you asked them?"
You don't bargain with gods, Hiraeth.
"I've bargained with Kellenvor many times. If you believe this is the only way, are you the one who spoke with him?"
I've looked, I have searched, I have delved into the precursor ruins, I have learned the story. I know that he pressed this pact upon us, knowing that the power he was giving us was a fair trade. And he will not bend.
I think there's more to it. Would you give me time?
Make a persuasion check. You get the sense in this moment that you're probably the only one who can talk your brother down from the ledge.
I really wish y'all could just see, even with dice that aren't mine, rolling a 4 and a 5.
Maybe it's the table.
I've used my
I'm
tray
happy.
and the table.
I'm not being completely serious.
Do you guys know what my expertise is, right?
It's an insanely high number.
It's a 24.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Total?
Good.
No, I mean, my total is a 24. It's a 19 plus 5.
Damn. Alright. You see Magrim's face just contort in this expression of angst and fear and uncertainty. Although he does seem to loosen his grip very slightly on Dagald. What would you have me do? Why
I know
can't you
it's-
just let me be the one to take the lead for once?
Because the way that you're going is going to be shutting a door. That'll be it. I'll never have the opportunity to know if I can move past this, if I can forgive you. I want to have that opportunity, Margaret. But if you do what you say you're going to do, you're taking that from me. I'm not doing this for my own glory. I want you to believe that. I know that I always did. I know that's who I am deep down, but I've been trying to become more than that. And I think that being more than that is actually being less than that. I want you to see if you could find it in yourself to work with me. We've already defied fate so many times. I think if we really tried, we could find something.
I want to believe you, Harry, but you've seen what I've seen. The despair. So many souls lost. For what? For this planet.
haven't seen it. Like if we sat and talked about it, I could understand. I know it's an impossible burden, but so far you've been carrying it alone.
I'd say make another persuasion check.
Let's see, another one of these. It's a 32.
32. You see Mogram's hand waver, and then the grip on his sword becomes unsteady. You see him tremble, and the sword clatters to the ground, and he pushes Dagald away from him. And then Mogram falls to his knees in the snow and starts to weep.
I'm going to. I assume Gald's still bound, whatnot.
Dagald
right?
is still bound and gagged.
All right, I'm going to step forward for just a moment, and I'm just gonna kind of set him upright so he's not face forward in the snow or something. And then I'll move past him and I'll go and I'll kneel down in front of Mogram, and I'm gonna look at him for a moment, and I'll say, up until this time, I'd been preparing myself, everything I'd done. Every time I felt myself becoming stronger, I would pick something that I thought would be able to defeat you. I make mistakes too, Mark. It's foolish of me to do that without even trying to understand why it is that you did what you did.
You see him just crying, and he reaches over and he just grips your arm, and he says, I'm so tired. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'll grasp his arm back. It's okay. If you feel like you can forgive me, I'll do my best to try to forgive you. We need to back away from this precipice a bit. We have time. You might not believe it, but I think we do. We can figure something out.
The rest of you notice as Hiraeth is moved over to her brother. In the meantime, the cloak shadows have let Danya go. She has run over to Dagald's side and unbound him. Hiraeth, you, after a moment of standing near your brother, see the shadow standing over you, and you look up and you see Dagald's grim face. And he says, get him on his feet and bring him inside. You and I have much to discuss. And then he walks off toward the cabin.
I'll stand up and I'll kind of try to pull Margrim up the way that I'm holding onto his arm.
He just leans against you. He just seems completely worn out and weary. As if he needed this moment. He needed to find someone to lean on finally.
I'll kind of pat his back once and I'll look over his shoulder to the rest of the group and I'll kind of give them a look. Like, it's a complex one. Part of it is like, what the fuck, but the rest of it is just kind of like, she's got a few tears in her eyes, so it's a stressful moment. But she'll nod and she'll take Margrim towards Dagald's cabin.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? You see, outside that the cloak shadows are standing off a little bit. you notice particularly that Ulag is just giving Dagald the stink eye the whole time. There's some bad blood there, obviously.
Yeah.
Dania herself is also standing away from her parents and her family. She seems betrayed and upset as well.
Sissel's gonna remain out and just keep an eye on the cloak shadows.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I
same.
think you feel in this moment that they were there more to be interceders on Magram's behalf in case something went wrong. But given how the situation has turned out, they've become pretty toothless. They are just standing in wait.
both Steel Song siblings' bodyguards just stare at each other while they go inside to talk.
The most awkward family reunion in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
Families.
bring Magram inside the cabin, and Dagald helps him into one of the nearby rooms, gets him into a bed to rest, because Magram looks absolutely worn out, exhausted, and he doesn't put up any sort of resistance. He just sort of lies down. And Dagald leads you back out of the room. Haraith closes the bedroom door behind him. He quietly moves over to stove and starts fixing a couple of cups of tea. And he's wordless for a while, and he says, after a moment, Haraith, tell me what's on your mind.
Kind of hard to narrow it down just to a few things. I kind of feel like my last few years have been totally turned upside down.
I suppose that's inevitable. I felt the same way when I learned about it. I wish I could have shielded you from it. It could have been a different situation in how you learned it, but what your brother said is true.
It would have had to have been it would have had to have been one of us.
Yeah.
Not even necessarily happy. I feel like I might have been more content knowing before going into it, but if it was either me or Margram, I'm happy that it's one of us who's less prepared to just go and throw themselves into whatever it is I found out.
I didn't want this placed on you, either of you, on future generations. Your brother's right, I'm a coward. And that's where we are now. Now it's your choice to make.
Have you ever discussed this with Convoy yourself?
I thought of it once. After the war crimes I helped commit against the orcs, I left society, looked for a way to die. First, I thought climbing the throne of the world and dying in a battle against the Grey Man would be a fitting end. But I was too afraid to do that either, so I thought maybe I would be the one to change the pact. Maybe that would be a fitting legacy. My companions left me, retired. They were remembered, I was forgotten, but in the end I was scared. Wraith, I still am. But now I'm scared for you.
I suppose I need some time to come to terms with things before I realize how about it. I've already won things from Kelmvor he didn't wish to give. I don't think things are as set in stone as others think they are.
Well, I know that the Judge of the Dead does like to gamble, but I'm afraid even this might be a bridge too far. But you do bear the stone now, and while you may not fully be the Skald yet, Kalimvor will recognize your authority. But he prefers to make his arrangements in person, so if you are intent on trying to change the pact to gamble with fate once more, then you're going to have to journey to the City of the Dead and entreat him directly.
Yeah, sounds about.
This is a lot to take in. You shouldn't be making any decisions now. You need some time to rest, to think about all of this.
Do you think that it's right for something like the Song of Creation to be left to one person?
Of course
One
not.
bloodline, even?
Nothing is right about it, but the gods have their own reasoning, their own motivations. And we never asked for any of this, but such is what makes heroes, I suppose. Choosing what to do with what you've been given.
I think it breaks them too.
I don't think it'll break you.
I guess we'll see.
Well,
Is he
sorry.
still cooking whatever he's cooking? Or
Yeah,
what-
he's just making tea.
Okay. I'll take some.
Yeah, he hands you a cup of tea. And he takes one of his own and he just sits down in a chair and he seems like he's brooding a little bit. He says, I'm not sure what more I can tell you, but I'm here if you need me. I can watch over your brother while he rests. You can see to your friends. But I'm proud of you for completing the trials, for taking the first steps. Maybe you'll be the one to deliver us all.
I'll take a sip of the tea and I'll nod and I'll stand up and walk a few steps towards the door and I'll stop. And I'll kind of turn back on one foot and I'll look back to him and I'll say, Margrim's not the only one I'm going to have to forgive in this, but at least we're all in it together now.
He just smiles emptily. I suppose so.
I'll nod and I'll leave the building.
Okay. So you return outside to your friends who have just stayed outside and are carefully watching the cloak shadows, who are not doing much of anything. They're just sort of standing across the courtyard staring at the rest of you. What do you do?
I will go to Danya's grandfather real quick,
Okay.
and I'll just tell them Margrim's asleep inside. The moment has passed, so if you all want to stand down, there's space for you to rest.
We swore to watch the boy.
So you
So,
can just stand around here. I just want to give you the option.
appreciate it.
I'll leave them there then. Okay, now I'll return back to the rest of the party.
Okay. So, Hiraeth returns to the rest of you.
And then, you okay?
Not really.
It's
It was quite a
Well-
lot of,
a lot, yeah.
yeah.
Where do you think you're gonna go from here?
I'm not sure. But now that I know the full of it, it makes sense. I always figured there needed to be a catch. There's always a
Sorry.
catch.
Oh.
Oh,
That's scandal.
Yeah, it
the
was.
I'm
scandal.
scandal.
Sorry, interrupting cat. She jumped on my lap.
My cat
Fine. I love her.
bit me, so that's why I made that noise.
Simultaneous cat.
Yeah.
Um, I think I just would have preferred to have known before making that decision.
Yeah, that's
Big. It's a big thing to.
It feels
Not-
more heroic when you elect into it to yourself.
mm-hmm.
When it's like this, I just feel like some victim or some lamb who's been led to some sacrificial slaughter.
It's not fair.
Not a great feeling.
But joke's on them. I've never been much of being a lamb, so
And you're a great gambler.
it will have to be the gamble of a millennia to trick Kellenvor out of this one, it seems. But
It can be pretty tricky.
I might have to find some new tricks.
So what? We just do this next time somebody dies, or
Uh,
I mean, I don't want to do that.
I would
God
rather.
said that we need to
We-
go to him ourselves.
We
We
can
could-
probably take Goff's thing. Can you
Yes.
take? I know you
We-
can take us to Elysium, right?
I have been there, so we can go there.
Okay.
Not necessarily sure this is something I want to do right away. I think, fortunately or unfortunately, there's not, from what I know, I mean, there's the fact that I would like to rescue my ancestors if I could, but if time is something that will give us more options. I believe we have it. I feel like if we want to go speak with Kellenvor, we at least have a plan before we do so.
probably a good idea. At least a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah,
It's a little bit.
we
bad.
should be prepared.
Mm-hmm. So where do we go from here?
As much as I don't like leaving things behind as they kind of stand, not sure what better place there is to encourage Margrim to go. I don't know if you should try to go home.
You think he'll be okay up here, out in the wilderness?
Kind of worry about God in the same place.
How is Danya doing?
She's just off by herself, sitting against the cliffside, staring out over the horizon.
I think maybe you should go talk to her here.
Yeah,
I think.
Maito.
Wink.
I think maybe Danya needs someone to talk to.
I just said that.
I know. I'm adding my voice to yours.
Don't try to take credit for this, Mahario.
Jesus.
Listen, we're all in the same.
We're
we have
all
the same goal.
God
we're
damn it.
all
Oh, it's
lesbians
especially bad when
together.
it's Verna saying it.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
All of you are completely insufferable.
I
Yes.
know, that's why you love us.
Uh,
You should consider talking to Danya though. It looks
oh
like
my!
she's-
I know. Does Goth want to tell me now? Are you all taking turns?
This is Maito saying, "Oh, Wraith, I think you should go talk to."
Goff just folds his arms and doesn't say anything. He just looks at my.
Coward.
I'm speaking for you. Don't worry.
Well, part of me doesn't want to do what they're telling me to just to make a point, but I will. I will depart from the
character
group
development.
and I will go talk to Danya or go sit next to her.
So
Okay.
that's
Ellen holds
character
up a hand
development.
for Mito to high five.
Jesus
Hi.
Christ.
Mine
All right.
low fives because she's taller.
That's true.
Oh Lord. Okay. So Harith, you go sit down next to Donnie, and she's quiet for a moment, and she just looks down at her hands and she says, "I'm sorry,
Why are you apologizing?
because I promised to look after Degal, to protect him, to let you know if something happened, and I wasn't able to do it. They got the jump on us.
Yes, and I'm very, very mad at you that you couldn't fend off all of your family and also my brother at the same time.
Could have tried.
You could have tried and you could have gotten. You didn't. Nobody got hurt today. Turned out pretty well.
Yeah, because of you. Is what he says true?
If you view it from a certain angle, from what we know now, maybe it's true.
I'm sorry. It's not something anyone should bear.
I don't think any of this is something one person should bear, but past that point, it seems.
Well, all the same, if I can help in any way, just let me know. I need to
course.
feel useful.
We're all in this. If anything, it's bits of relief to know that we're united on one thing. There's too many fractures in this family, both mine and yours. We need to try to see if forgiveness is something that we can either discover or learn.
She
I don't think there's much.
nods. Yeah.
I don't think there's. There either will be or should be much future for us if we don't learn how to move past it.
She nods, but she's kind of quiet at this point. Seems like she has a lot on her mind.
I don't need to tell you I don't going down without a fight.
I suppose that's true. That's why I admire you, Harith.
I feel like no one should admire me for my bullheadedness.
Yeah, well,
Always
you
being
don't get to make that
stubborn.
decision.
I always thought I wanted to be admired. It's actually a very strange feeling.
Well, looks like we're all dealing with a lot of things today. A lot of new experiences. Never thought that my own mother would. She just sort of trails off.
She get the better of you?
Yeah.
Moms do that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure if it's something speaking to.
I think I'm gonna have to eventually. I haven't talked to them in a while. I've been mostly focusing on company work. I think they were never happy that I joined the company, but something I should talk with them about.
And it's the only thing that can help at this point. And besides, we might need you for your company expertise soon, from what I know.
I know that. Yeah, I guess you're right. Laura's been getting pretty antsy.
Yeah, I think that's the next thing on the docket, but it's kind of hard to think about while that's happening. I think for now we all just need to recuperate a bit.
It's probably for the best. I can wait. Hey, I'm sorry again.
Going to have to start punching you all each time for apologizing for something you don't have any control over.
Let me say I'm sorry.
No. I'll punch her.
She punches you back. Just grins.
Alright, I'll let you some time, but we'll be here.
All right.
Okay. And now I'll stand up and go back to the rest of the group.
Okay. So Hiraeth rejoins the rest of you. It's been a very eventful morning.
A very
Yeah.
eventful 3 hours.
So how'd it go?
If you all are going to act like this, I swear to God, I'll find some very fucked up way to mess with your minds.
Oh. Hmm.
Fine. She'll be okay.
That's good. How are you doing?
I don't want to answer that question.
Alright.
I don't really know what the answer is, but for now, let's go sit and rest and maybe think about what we do now.
Can get something to eat or something. Have we eaten breakfast yet, even?
I think we ate
You ate
breakfast,
breakfast.
in
Okay.
the mansion. Mansion's probably still up. Wait.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last 24 hours. Can go sit down in my mansion.
Hell yeah. It's warm in there.
It's warm in
So you all head on into the mansion.
Brief, unrelated question, Falk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, back when Cecil examined Edmund's room, you mentioned that there was like some notes on there that involved some suspicions on Calanthus. Was that like in detail, or was it just general stuff?
He suspected that the precursors and Calanthus were not telling the whole story to them about the stones and about the whole situation with the elder gods.
Okay.
Like Calanthus specifically, Edmund suspected that Calanthus had other plans.
All right. Good to know.
But he didn't have anything concrete, so.
All right. How long do we have until that party that we're supposed to go to?
Are we going to a party?
Couple weeks.
That's kind of
1 week.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're going to.
Party.
There's
Yeah.
a party at Crankshaft or something, right?
Yeah, you have 1
Yeah.
week until the party at Crankshaft,
It's
where you
been.
have to infiltrate. And...
Stop.
What did you say?
Nothing. Don't worry about
No,
it.
say it.
Okay.
I wanna-
It's been
Oh,
You said 1 week, and then my brain immediately got the word.
every single time.
Jesus Christ.
It's like the one music meme that I can never get rid of. I just hear
been.
I hear someone say "it's been," or I hear the words 1 week, and that's
Yeah,
all I
it's
think
been.
about.
It's been. Anyway, good God. All right. Yep. So you have about a week until this big party in Crankshaft where
We
the
haven't
Keymaster
discussed
is going to be. You don't.
Hey, Hooray.
Hey.
Do we need to talk to your dad?
Yes. Mm,
Think he'll be in Crankshaft or...
where was he? Was he home last
He
time
was
I was
home.
there? Yeah. I
That was 3
don't.
weeks ago, though. You don't know where he is now.
Did we
Based on
tell him
the
about the
person.
party when we were
No.
there?
Yeah.
Oops.
I wouldn't know based on the person that's retiring if he would have any reason to be there.
No,
would I?
you don't have any idea.
Well, I mean, we can always. I'll need to speak with him soon anyway, especially, I mean, I don't really know where Markram's going to go at this point. I don't know if he's going to stay here. I think it's kind of a bad decision to do that, but if for any reason he's going to go home, we're going to have to speak to his parents anyway.
I think you're right. I think it might be better to just rip the band-aid off, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I don't really think this crowd in Crankshaft is really his. I don't know if he would be much help to us.
He does have one of the big companies, right? And well,
Well, you also have to remember that my family left the Crankshaft family. Is still on two generations back. They purposefully wanted to stay out of those politics, so it's kind of an awkward. It's kind of awkward, especially when some people there might still be old enough to remember it.
fair.
We can maybe... Didn't somebody mention that, like, we might be able to just get in as ourselves? Like, do we have that amount of clout yet, or no?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody knows you all at this point.
We could
Do we
probably
have
just waltz in as, you know...
You still need invitations, but
Oh,
you wouldn't
shit.
need to disguise yourselves.
hashtag influencers?
God.
I cannot imagine the Blue Hearts as influencers.
Didn't someone make a joke about Sissel bullying children so she could be a media influencer or something?
You were bullying children out in Ashea,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
Goff would be like my dad. He would plug in the phone and never use it. He would just let it sit he would let it sit on his desk and he would leave, and he would never take it with him. He would never take any pictures or do anything with it, except to see what shit Sissel's sending him. He would open it like once a week to look at the shit Sissel sent him.
Sissel would
Get mad and
stick
like
bug him.
turn it on. Yeah.
God would send LOL and say it was lots of love.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
I think Goff would like the stick bug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sissel would send it to him as a gag to like be like, oh, lol, stick bug, and Goff would be like, oh, I love this stick bug.
What if someone sends
he's
someone
so
that was
sends
so-
get bunnied?
That was so nice that Sissel sent me the stick bug. It's so unlike her to send something nice to me.
Sissel would Bodsy Buddy Goff's laptop.
No!
Goff wouldn't even use it enough for him to care.
Goff would be like,
Goff would have AOL Instant
helpful
Messenger.
monkey.
Yeah.
He would have ICQ.
Oh my god.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly.
Goff would open Amazon.com and then be really disappointed when he found out what Amazon.com was. It's not a big tourist. It's just a fucking.
It's just
The
capitalist
river.
hell.
It's just capitalist monopoly hellscape. It's the opposite of what he thought the Amazon was gonna be.
What if Sissel was like, hey Goff, you should check out this good website. It's called penisland.com.
No.
She would though. She would.
Don't do this to Goff. She would do that and
See,
blame it on
I think
fucking
Link's
the mail.
Goff beat spin.
I think that the first time you guys would do something like that to him, after that he would just never do any. He would never use a computer again. Like all it would take is one gross picture, and he'd be like,
All it
"Ah,
takes
all
is
right, that's
one meat
it."
spin.
All it would take is like, hey, look at this cute image of a goat, and never again.
Oh, Mel.
What?
What?
Ugh.
Is this something
A
gross?
single
Yeah.
goatsy.
Oh, okay. Got
Fucking-
it. Got it. Let's not talk about goatsy in this game that we're playing. Anyway.
Which is also recorded.
Yep. We have said worse things in these
We
recordings,
have.
I will
We
say.
have.
We have.
You're right.
Anyway.
All right. Where were we? We could use our influencer cred. Who would we ask? Do we know who we would ask for an invitation
I
to
mean,
a party
besides
like
You don't even
this?
know who's going, so
We don't even
No,
know who's going.
We know that a bunch of big names are going to be there, and apart from maybe Hirei's dad, we don't really know
Mm,
who could get us in.
I'm certain if we speak with Wilred, Wilred.
yeah,
Wilred.
well read.
Okay.
When we talked to him, he said like,
Sometimes I think I'm gonna get him and the character from Knights Errant mixed up.
Oh, those are very different characters.
They're very different
What?
characters. There's a character named Wilfred in Knights Errant, so I always
Okay.
forget which one is which.
There's
But
also
anyway.
Wilred in Final Fantasy who's fucking dead.
Oh,
You're right. Yeah. I mean, he was contact on this. I would assume he'd have some more information.
I mean,
Hopefully.
it's our best bet, apart from just waltzing in the crankshaft and hoping
if
we'll
we
get
just-
invited.
If we just go ourselves, it'll definitely have eyes on us.
I mean, we're gonna have us on us anyway. Probably.
Not unless we're all very sneaky. But some of us are not
Sissel
good
looks at Goff. Sissel looks at Mido.
Wait, why are you looking at Goff?
Because you're not very
Sneaky.
sneaky.
Oh, yeah, big.
The 9-foot tall man just kind of sits there. Yeah.
Good God.
We could figure something out.
So big.
Once again, it's like 11 a.m. and we're just like, all right, what do we
What
do
now?
Time for a nap.
Time for a nap.
time for a nap.
Going to sleep for 15 hours.
All right. Well, do we want to begin the trek to Hiraith's home, or we could teleport there?
Do we want to do
I-
that with Magrum, or...
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
really know if I want to do that, but until I know what he wants to do, and right now he needs to sleep.
It may not be a good idea to just leave before figuring out what he wants to do next.
That
You saw what happened through all that time that he was alone. He is falling apart. So perhaps you discuss with him what the next step for the Steel Song siblings shall be.
Okay, I mean, I agree, but it'll just take some time. I'm not going to wake him up to talk about what very soon future difficult family conversations we have to have, so. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Well, if he
We skip some time. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Montage of us going to the fucking montage of us going to the fucking sauna.
God.
Cause we need to fucking relax.
Gotta fucking chill.
I want a group pic of the Blue Hearts in Hiraith's sauna.
Yeah.
God, that'd be fun.
That would be a hell of a commission.
Yeah.
God, I want disposable income.
So are we
when
just
we
chilling
going
here?
to? Yeah, I guess so.
I think
Oh my
we're.
God. I also do want to visit my kids at some point before the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably should.
We'll have a
Also,
little
we're
bit
going
of.
to need to go to the. Aren't we going to have to go to the Nine Hells at some point?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Go to the abyss.
the abyss.
Oh, is it the Abyss? Sorry.
You also have to go at some point to Sigil, the City of Doors. To
God, there's so many fucking places. For some reason, I thought Sigil. No, it's not the same as Kellenbor's house.
no,
Yeah.
you've got the City of the Dead. You've got Sigil, City of Doors, where you're trying to find Medici's private dimension. You've got the Abyss to deal with that bullshit. Finally kill what's his face,
Synac,
Synac. Yeah,
Syntax.
Syntax.
syntax error. At some point, probably also need to retrieve the big weapon from Verna that they let you left in Ordinul.
Oh,
The cursed
Oh.
hammer.
Yeah,
we need to
Yeah.
Are
uncurse
we
it at some
getting
point.
the curse broken on it, or
you
Can we
can
curse
start.
a real sword?
So the big hammer, Verna, is now capable of wielding it without succumbing to its influence. It'll
Oh,
still have the cursed
yeah.
properties, but she can start on uncursing it, which will also require a trip to Agma's domain to get his blessing.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Dogma.
oh,
Big ol'
silver
eyeball.
string.
Which you actually don't know anything about. You don't know anything about Agma's domain.
I know
We
Agma's
know
big
that he
ol'
has
eyeball.
silver strings.
Mhm,
Falk, I thought you cured it by doing 50 battles with it equipped.
What is this a
Verna,
reference
two
to?
Final
battles
Fantasy
to the clip.
6.
Oh.
It's a little gamer reference for you.
Funny joke.
If you do that on the cursed shield, you get like a holy shield that teaches you Ultima. So
What was that?
That was my gamer laugh.
That was
Your
your
gamer
very
laugh?
cultured gamer laugh.
Sorry.
It's fine. So yeah, you have like a whole lot to do. So
oh, sorry, it was 256 battles.
you've got
Jesus.
you got a lot of, like, you still have to get the last Avatar Stone. You've got all those things that I mentioned, then you've got kind of like your own personal plot lines to wrap up.
The last Airbender stone.
You've got to deal with a bunch of different shit from each of your perspectives.
We also need to get back to Dog World and help Roscoe deal
You have to
with
help Roscoe.
being
You
a
have
deadbeat
to
dad.
you have to track down and deal with Donrick and Emmeline. You have to deal with the Burned Man.
Yeah.
You have to go to the throne of the world at some point. Like, there's a lot of shit you all still have to do, but it's
like
wrapping up.
when you're getting close to the end of
It's-
the RPG and you look in your side quests and you're just
This
like,
is all you got
Yeah.
to do all your loyalty missions. It's like the end of Chrono Trigger where you have to do like all the little side quests.
Big JRPG moods.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you unlocked the airship, and now it's time to.
Yeah, you unlock the airship in Final Fantasy X and you have to fly around doing everybody's shit.
I think I skipped that part.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And eventually, you're gonna have to fight the moon.
Oh, you know,
Yeah.
like you do.
Well, we did hear the Song of Healing earlier, so.
Yeah, you just gotta play that.
What if we just polymorph the whole party into a group of Tarasques? And
I don't think you have a high enough CR to
And
do
then-
that.
and then we do it, and
Okay.
then we just push the moon back.
You just put the moon somewhere else.
We just shove
What
it
if we
away.
take the move?
Well, see,
and
no,
Yeah.
we
push
just
it
have to go to the.
somewhere else?
We just have to go to the 4 temples
Are
and get the
we-
remains. And
What's that? What's that movie where they like send men to like they send a group of people to a meteor or an asteroid? to, like-
Armageddon.
Yeah, are we gonna do that?
Bruce
Are we gonna
Willis.
are we gonna rocket ourselves to the moon to dig into it and
You're gonna have
destroy
to
its evil
figure out how to
core?
get there. You don't have any means of space travel at the
We are
moment.
going to the
Ah,
moon, and it's gonna end up being a
we-
grassy plain.
But
with a
you do
bunch
know a
of
lot
kids.
of very smart inventors who could probably get you
We know
into outer space.
We know the remnants of an ancient
You do know a remnants
advanced
of an ancient
race.
spacefaring
They
civilization.
probably have a spaceship.
Well, the spaceships are technically their city now.
Oh, they probably have smaller
We
spaceships.
can probably ask for smaller
What-
space shuttles to get
what
us to
mo-
the moon.
What?
You're trying
So-
to say something.
I said they can just move out. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure. So yes, you have a lot of different little goals to accomplish. The most immediate of which is the banquet in a week to find the vault. But then you also have a lot of different little side plots to, well, not really side plots, but like character things to wrap up. So I will let you all decide how you want to tackle that.
Tackle.
I do have a running list right now of all the little loose ends that need to be tied up before the end of this campaign, so
We have so many of those.
probably like easily a dozen.
Ugh. This is killing me. This is not how I do side quests.
Killing me.
What do you mean?
I always do all the side content as much as I can before progressing the main story.
Well, it's not side content per se.
I know. I'm making a joke.
I know. Okay, so with all of this in mind, what do you want to do at this point, at this juncture?
Well, I think Harry needs to talk to her brother, so I guess we just chill.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna chill for the rest of the day, and then maybe later
Yeah.
in the evening go back and see how he's doing.
We're gonna fucking.
I mean,
into the spa.
I just think it's important that she does this. I mean, Harriet can do whatever she wants, but I think that if I was thinking about it, the perspective of she comes out of the fucking ancient tomb and she's like talks her brother down from something and then just fucking disappears is not a good look. Like,
Yeah.
like she doesn't really figure anything out. She's just like, I mean, she helps him figure out a little bit, but she doesn't like make any plans with him and then just fucking gone. And it's kind of a bad optic.
Right
Yeah.
now.
Just leaves him with the gall. Like, I feel like
The
it's not-
dog who is kind of like a big part of his trauma right now.
Yeah,
And also
like,
a war criminal. Yeah.
we should
Also-
probably address Mogrim's mental state before we move on to anything else. Is all I'm thinking.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, if you want to take the rest of the day to just sort of unwind a little bit, contemplate things, and then later in the evening go and check on your brother and see how he's doing, we can
Hey,
handle it
Hede.
that way.
In Arcadia, I've seen them selling these like things with like soap and baking soda, and then you drop it into the pot, and it like.
Fuck off.
Do you want me to go get you some? I've got some. I've got an errand I need to run. I'll come
Are
back
you
with
trying-
something.
Is this a bath bomb? Is this the joke?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, I wish I had a bath bomb in real life.
Right.
Same.
You could probably make them with your
Yeah, I mean, the
alchemy
thing-
knowledge or herbalism
and
knowledge or
also-
whatever.
But also,
The-
it's the mansion.
The
Can it
mansion is
produce
also really
them?
busted and can make like
Literally
not
anything.
anything, but it can make most like incidental things like that.
Yeah, just tell your ghost servants to make you bath bombs for the sauna
Yeah.
or the hot tub or whatever.
Well, I've got the quick errand to run, so like, let me know if any of you need anything. I'll be back in a
Do you
bit.
need company?
Huh?
Do you need company?
Nah, I'll be right back.
All right.
So, while people are chilling, Sissel is going to exit the mansion
Okay.
and she's gonna go find a flat spot and this feels like a weird spot to do this, but also I don't know when we're gonna get like some good downtime when we're not charging ahead, so I'm gonna just do this now.
All right.
Sissel is going to draw a teleportation circle on the ground, and take a quick hop over to the mysterious monastery.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, okay.
All right, okay.
This is not what I thought she meant when she said errand.
Oh boy. All right. Let me get ready. Okay. All right. Go for it.
I
do not think we were doing this
message you
now.
about this a while back.
Oh, that's right. You did, and I totally forgot like a dingus. Okay. Let me. Okay. Yeah.
Is this
yeah.
too
yeah.
much?
Go on.
So yeah, she is going to walk through the halls and just like retrace the path to where she thinks the Lady of Change is, assuming she doesn't get stopped immediately.
Okay. So you teleport to the monastery. As usual, it's fairly. I think you probably arrived this time in the afternoon. Whereas last time you arrived in the evening.
Oh god, I forgot about the weird time difference.
Yeah. You get there and you do notice, in the distance, some people are patrolling the grounds. They don't seem to really pay you any mind. You're allowed to sort of enter the monastery and head into the main hall, where that dining area was, where you last met the Lady of Change. It appears to be empty at the moment, although you're not really sure where anybody is at the time.
Hello? Shit, I should have called ahead.
Send a text.
Lady of Change? Are you around?
Hold on a minute. I'm looking up something. Okay, I can't find it. Anyway, yes. So after a moment of just quiet in the hall, you hear the telltale clacking of stiletto heels behind you as you stare over your
Nice.
shoulder. This towering 7-foot-tall, alien-looking woman approaching you, and she says, "Oh, child, it is good to see you again."
Hello. It's good to see you too.
What brings you here? You're without your friends.
Yes, well, I had a bit of a question, and it might have been a little bit contentious to ask with my party around, but
Oh.
I reach into my bag and I pull out some mail,
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
and you go, so my buddy here is in a bit of a predicament.
Samael holds a hand out and it's like, "It's a pleasure to meet you." And the Lady of Change kind of bends down and like shakes his little doll hand. "It is a very peculiar predicament, I see.
Mm-hmm.
But why have you come to me about it?"
Because it's not really a problem I'm necessarily able to solve. Because there is some unfortunate side effects that I'm not really willing to play ball with at this point in time. So I was wondering if you could maybe help him out a little.
I think she extends a hand to take some mail, expecting to see if you hand him over.
Yeah, I hand him over.
Okay. She studies him a moment. Samael is very quiet, uncharacteristically quiet. The Lady of Change kind of scrutinizes him and says, "It is a very powerful enchantment created by a very powerful being. I'm afraid it would be quite difficult. There must be some sort of consequence."
Yeah, the consequence, at least the way that I've been trying to do it, is going to result in me getting trapped inside that doll, and I'm not really. I mean, Samael, don't get me wrong, I like you, but
I would say, unfortunately, it would require a sacrifice of some sort. This type of magic will find its purchase somewhere, on someone. It cannot simply be put aside. If you wish the creature inside to be free of the doll, then the curse must bounce to something else or someone else. It is the simple, unfortunate fact of the one who placed it on this doll.
Alright, well, that's good to know. Do you think there's a way to manipulate who it bounces off on? Or do we have to play by the rules on this one?
What did you have in mind?
I don't know yet, but
I think the doll might have some ideas, don't you, doll? And Samael is very quiet. I think maybe you need to speak with your friend here. He is hiding something from you.
alright.
And she hands Samael back to you.
I just kind of give him a look and I go, we'll talk later. And I just keep him on my shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Well, at the moment, probably nothing that's not going to keep me here for over long.
Very well.
Maybe getting back.
I would ask something of you then,
Hmm?
if you might, to inform your friends that I am very close to tracking down information of Medici's last two remaining generals.
Ooh.
Oh.
The time may come when you must strike.
Thank you for the information. I'll make sure to relay it.
Within the next month or two, I suspect I will have them found.
Alright. Well, we'll keep in touch then.
Very well. You'll have a means to contact me, and I will expect to hear from you when you are ready.
Okay. Thank you again for, hearing me out.
Of course.
If I don't see him, tell Godfrey I said hello.
I will do so. I think he would appreciate it.
And I bow slightly. And
She nods to you, steeples her very long claw-like fingers, and bows.
Oh. And I exit the room.
Okay. You return back to the teleportation circle entry point to the monastery,
Mm-hmm.
and then just teleport back,
Yep.
I'm assuming? Okay. Cool. Alright, so you teleport back and rejoin your companions in the mansion.
Yeah.
Not saying a word of where you went.
Just casually, like if I like the first person I pass in the hall, I'm just go. By the way, really close to tracking down. Lady O'Change is really close to tracking down Medici's last two stones, so we should check on her in like the next month or so. Okay, later.
Wait, how do you?
And she's done.
I love Sissel.
God. Such chaotic energy. Okay.
Thank you for letting me take that detour. I've been wanting
No
to do that for a bit.
No problem.
Oh,
I totally forgot about it because I think you mentioned it like a month and a half ago.
Yeah, it felt weird to like yank the current yank the camera
Right.
away from the current situation at the time, so I wanted to wait until we got some downtime.
Yeah. Okay. So is there anything else anybody else wants to do before we kind of time skip to Hiraeth in the evening speaking with her brother again?
I'd like to reenact the funny monkey video.
Apparently, okay.
Helen's chilling with the bath bomb.
Sure.
For a second, I like the bath bomb.
What?
I'm like,
What's
yeah.
what the fuck is the funny monkey video?
This one.
Which one?
Here, I just linked it.
That's all the
It's
blue hearts. Just in a
Yeah, that's
circle.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Oh,
What? How
This is
do
so
you
stupid.
reenact this in D&D?
Because we're holding hands.
Oh.
this is
Let's
so
stop
dumb.
casting plane shift.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it is.
A monkey video every day?
Yeah.
Lauren, did you make this account?
I wish. I wish I did that. I wish I made dog. You know
Wow,
what
when,
to do.
like when it gets to like halfway through, that really is what plane shift is.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's it.
When it's just like the spinning and it's just rainbow, and it's like it starts having like an After Effect trail.
This is
Plane
just
shift.
Patrick. This one's just Patrick.
Okay. All right. So, in that case, we can skip to the evening, and Hiraeth, if you want to approach your brother again.
Yes, I will go back to the cabin.
Okay. So heading back to the cabin, you see that Degald is in the main sitting room. He's just reading a book. As you're entering the cabin itself, you see that the cloak shadows have sort of like set up like a little campfire outside and are just sitting around eating some stew. Danya sort of waves to you a little bit. The Ulag, I think, nods to you. You head inside. Before you enter the room, I think Degald would mention to you, would ask you, do you have a plan?
I have a few thoughts and ideas, but I wanted to get Narum's input first.
He's been very quiet. He hasn't been taking any food. I've tried to bring him some, but he has no appetite.
Might take some time, but I'll see what I can do.
All right. I'm right outside if you need me.
Okay, I'll nod and I'll go inside.
Okay. When you enter, I think Mogram is still lying in bed. His back is to the door. He's just staring toward the window in the pale moonlit night. He's not saying anything. He doesn't respond to you as you enter.
You get a good sleep?
He doesn't really respond.
I'll approach and I'll. Is there a place I can sit?
Yeah, there's a chair you can grab
I'll sit
on the
in the
opposite
chair.
side of the room.
Is he like reacting at all, or is he just staring?
He's just staring into the distance, staring out the window.
I get the feeling that this is just physical, right? There's no weird or.
No, he's just sort of, I think, has a lot on his mind.
Okay. You know, I won't try to force you to do anything you don't want to do, but do you have any idea about where you want to go? You might have to leave soon to deal with some things. Going to keep in mind where I think I can go, what I can try to find out about our situation, but I don't want to leave and do that until I know that you'll be okay. Or
He's looks like he opens his mouth to talk, but then sort of shuts it again. I think from a passive insight, you get an impression that your brother is extremely ashamed and can't even look you in the eye or face you.
I know that you just might need time, but I wanted to let you know that before I came up here, visited Mom and Dad, told me, regardless of what happened, they wanted me to try to reach out to you, to try and bring you back. I miss you. You might not be the best idea to face them now. Maybe you should try to prepare a little before that, but I just wanted to let you know what they told me.
Dad forgives me.
You know how Dad can be, but I think he'll be more happy to see you back.
I want to go back eventually. I just don't know if I can face anybody for how I've been.
I kind of look around and I'll look back to him and I'll say, you know, I feel like you're sitting in the house of someone who felt very similarly a long time ago. I just don't want you to end up wandering up a mountain and staying there for the next 300 years, you know?
What are you going to do, Hiraeth?
Unfortunately, I have to think about all of this sandwiched into about half dozen other things we've kind of got ourselves into. Don't really know yet.
I mean it. I will. I don't want you to have to make the choice. I'll do it.
How about this? We each have a mission to do until we make that decision. I'll try to see if there's anything I can do to bend the rules a little bit about where we go, what breaking this contract even would look like. But before we do that, you would have to go and you need to go home. You need to talk to Mom and Dad. Right now, I think it's far too easy for you to think about throwing yourself away. We both have to know what we'd be losing.
He's just very quiet and he keeps staring out the window. He just breathes a deep sigh and says, I'll think on it.
Do you have any idea where you're going to go? I would say you could stay here, but I feel like you spending too much time around Degald, I mean, maybe it'll give you a few interesting perspectives, but he's kind of bristly.
I don't know where I'm going to go. I came to you because I didn't know what else to do. And I thought you'd have a plan. You always do. As much as I hate to admit it, I have always respected you for that.
They don't always come together exactly when I want them to, but I'm going to use everything I can on this one. Just try to take care of yourself, and when I feel like we have something to work with or some idea of where to go from here, we'll reach out to you. I don't know if you have anything to prevent it, but probably have somebody sending you a message, not me. So don't be too frightened.
Okay. Promise me if you seek to entreat the Judge of the Dead, you'll let me stand with you to do so.
Yeah. Either way this goes, I don't think either of us is standing alone. I'll let you know.
All right. He's just very quiet. He seems very, just very subdued.
I feel like I kind of know where that mindset is, so I'll nod and I'll stand up and put a hand on his shoulder for a moment, and then I'll leave.
Okay. You shut the door behind you. You see the back of de Gaulle's head in the where he's sitting at the chair, in his little upholstered chair. He says, "How's he? How is he doing?"
Not great. All things considered, though, it makes sense.
Wraith, I once told you that your brother has glimpsed the truth. And now you see what happens when someone is not prepared for it.
Oh, Lauren's power went out. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Continue, I think, but just letting
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, thank you. I know it's a burden that you didn't ask for, but I think you're ready to face it. You have allies, you have courage. As for your brother, I wouldn't worry. I'll see to him.
Thank you.
I think it's time. Well, I think it's about time I faced my grandson again. Your father.
Be a hell of a family reunion.
No, I half expect him to come at me with a bludgeon, but I'm prepared for it. Although I don't really think I'll have the ability to stand up to it these days. You notice, actually, something peculiar about de Gaulle's physical appearance. He looks a bit older than you remember.
Mm.
You can see a few more creases around his eyes. That sort of thing.
Yeah. Do you know how much more time you have?
Not long, I expect. But the mantle has been passed, and that's what's important.
No.
I think in my final years, I should be making amends for what I've been doing.
I think that's probably for the best.
I shouldn't burden you with this, so you and your friends must do. You have a lot of work to do ahead of you. But this is the first step. And I'm proud of you for coming this far.
Oh. You can be more proud of me when I figure a way out.
If anyone can, it's you.
If anyone can, we can. I'll leave it at that.
Well, I'll leave you to it then. I'll watch after him. I'll let you know if anything goes wrong. I think a long conversation with Ulag. It has been centuries since we've had a real talk.
Well, none. I feel like there's lots of years of hurt that need to be rebuilt in these next few months, but at least we're all well ready to approach that.
Yes, well, all in time. Kind of smiles weakly at you. Get some rest. I'm sure you and your friends have other things to attend to.
I'll nod. You too. Let me know if you or Margaret need anything.
I will.
I'll leave the door to the mansion open.
He nods to you, continues reading his book. Rest well.
You too. And I'll leave and go back to the mansion.
Okay. All right, so you return to the mansion. It's the evening at this point, after dinner. I'd assume the rest of you want to make plans for what you're going to be doing next.
Well,
Where do
yeah.
we go in the morning?
Markham's not ready to go home yet, so not really sure. We could go back home just to make sure my parents know I'm okay. Let them know that he is okay. But I don't know how much I really want to open up that can of worms with them right now. We can ask about Crankshaft, but like I said, I am not entirely sure how much my dad will be able to help. But maybe. No, it couldn't. He might as well. He's been doing more business up in that region, so he'll probably have a better idea of the economics and politics of it.
More than we
Anybody
would.
else we know, at least.
All right.
We should
So
also probably set aside some time for you to visit your family, Ellen.
I'd like that. So,
That's all I have.
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
we probably don't have time to visit Sigil before the party, do we?
That might be.
Well, you got
How do you-
about 7 days at this point.
I mean, unless we have to do a week-long puzzle to get into the door. We have the key, right?
You have the key.
But didn't we have to wait like at the waiting room that one time
you
we
don't
were
really
there?
know. You don't really know what the whole situation with Sigil is, other than that it is a dimension of pure bureaucracy.
Ugh.
So it might take a bit.
It's like if the DMV was a dimension.
Ugh.
Do you think the library in Arcadia might have anything on Sigil?
Oh, absolutely, they would.
That's the direction to go in.
You also have plans to make for actually attending this banquet. Like you have to plan to how to get invitations. You probably have to figure out what your story is for being there. Get nice outfits together.
So yeah.
I don't. What? Nice outfits.
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah, we
be
gotta be
in a
fancy.
formal banquet. You can't just
I
come
don't.
in your adventuring
Yeah, but I
clothes.
made a dirt man. I don't have nice outfits
Dirt
planned for
man.
him.
Yes, but I'm sure you can wear some cleric
Formal
robes or
clothes.
something.
Formal clothes.
Formal
It'll-
clothes.
It only
wear
took 17 levels for us to have an episode where we wear formal clothes. That's one of my requests for the next campaign: more opportunities to dress up.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Though I don't know why. I don't know if. Then again, I don't know if Zenoria would have like formal clothing.
It depends where you go. The vampires wear a lot of tuxedos.
They do.
Sure, why not? They're all centuries-old business people.
I think we should go shopping, or I think we should dress up. It'll be cool. Mm. Well, it'll be fine. Besides, we'll stand out more if we don't have formal wear.
It won't matter what I do, I will always stand out.
Well, yeah, but you can stand out and you can look snazzy doing it.
Ugh. Looking snazzy is not practical.
No, that's the point. So yeah, on our list, fancy clothes. But we need invitations first, so...
I thought we were gonna get invitations.
Yeah.
You need to find a way in. You know that it's
Wait.
happening. You know,
No, I
Lord
thought-
had said that you can probably find some invitations.
I thought he was gonna get us invitations.
No, he
Oh.
can't do that. He has to keep him and his group away from that whole situation.
Oh, we have to-
Otherwise, they will get noticed.
We have to justify us getting invitations.
Yeah.
Ugh.
is
You
why-
are very famous people at this point. You could probably justify it. That's what he was saying.
Which is
probably
why
be easy for you.
was...
Yeah.
thinking of like either talking to Hera's dad or even just like going into Crankshaft itself and like seeing if we can't get some stuff. I don't know.
Well, what do you want to do? Gotta make a decision.
Are we gonna visit Hera's dad or are we gonna go to...
Yeah, I feel like we can. Or maybe we should, since I said I was going to go
Yeah.
to Ranger's place and then disappeared
Yeah.
for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Facing your ancient bloodline, that kind of stuff.
Oh, you
Maybe.
know, normal things. Also, be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay. So are you heading back home?
What is the way that we usually do that? Do we go to Zephyrins and then...
You could take the teleporter.
We do
Yeah,
have
we
the
have the
entangler.
quantum entangler, and then if we have used Heraith's old fuel, that's probably no. That would be back to.
You could also...
the-
Isn't it just a place that we're familiar with? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it should be pretty easy anyway.
Yes. Yep.
I mean, the cave is also a place we're pretty familiar with.
Yeah, but it's also another dimension, so.
No, I mean the last time we teleported to the cave, we got stuck in trees.
True.
But yeah, we can take the teleporter pretty
Yeah.
easily, I think.
I could plane shift if we're in the mansion to one of these locations if we need to do multiple teleports.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't know. Sorry.
Most indecisive.
I
No.
mean, I think
Well,
maybe it would be best to use plane shift from the spell that is already active.
Mhm.
What, the mansion?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it won't really work.
Well, actually, I could also use it from the material plane to get. Oh wait, no, that doesn't work. Never mind. I can't plane shift into Ellen's dimension, right?
Why not?
Well,
It's another plane.
No, we can.
oh, how did we do it before? Did I plane shift to it and then open the door from the
You
inside?
had such a big group that half of you had to plane shift, and the other half had to teleport.
Oh, okay.
And the half that teleported got stuck in trees or something.
No, that was when we took Cerulean there.
Oh yeah, you're right. That was just because it botched.
It botched the 5% chance.
Yep.
Alright, we can take any of them. Up
Okay.
to
So are
up
we
to
going?
the people with the teleport abilities.
Oh my.
So we're going where first?
Hereth's the Steel Song Homestead.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we're going there with plane shift,
Yes.
and then from there we're using the entangler to go to Ellen's family.
Yeah.
Okay. Then whenever we're good, I'll do my thing, my hand holding circle.
Okie doke.
Hand holding circle.
The monkey circle.
The
monkey
funny
circle.
monkey, yeah.
Yeah, the
Funny
funny
monkey video.
Okay. All right. So you're in the mansion. You all hold hands to shift out. And then after just yeah, you just start spinning like that, and then the spell takes hold. The fabric of the planar weave rends in twain, and you step through and find yourselves in just outside of the Steel Song homestead. Since I'm assuming it's the same night because you haven't said if you're taking a long rest, it is in the evening now. The work in the forge has since ceased, and there's some lights on still in your parents' house. They appear to maybe be finished eating dinner.
Well,
Sorry.
no time like the present. I'll go knock on the door, I guess.
After a moment, you hear footsteps approaching the door, and it swings open. You see your mother there. Elaine looks at you for a moment, and then immediately rushes forward and just scoops you up in a big hug.
Hey, Mom. Okay. I'll let you know.
Yeah, you're looking healthy. I see you've been eating.
Oh, I would never neglect that. You always got on my case if I did.
Get damn right I would. You're here for long?
Probably not too long. I just wanted to check in with you and Dad. Is Dad here?
Yeah. He's just in the kitchen, cleaning up.
Okay. I'll kind of look back to everybody else and not. Yeah, I have a few things to speak with you both about. And also might have a few questions for Dad if he.
Of course. Come in. The rest of you too. I don't want you standing out there getting cold.
Thank you.
Right. So, she leads you inside. You see your father is over in the kitchen cleaning the dishes. Given that your mother is the cook and he has to do all the other stuff as the bargain for all the good food that he gets to eat. He sees you enter. He says, "Oh, look what the cat dragged in."
Every time a fucking dwarf child has to go back to their parents, they say that. I swear to God, it's like all of them have to say it.
Yeah, you know.
It's the contract they signed when they were born a dwarf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Oh, you're looking fit. Yeah, been out in the wilderness lifting weights
Uh,
the last 3
so
weeks.
Thing like
I
that.
didn't increase my strength score.
But all the same, it's good to see you. What have you and your friends come for? I'm sorry, we just finished dinner. I would offer you something, but I ate it all. I'm afraid.
No worries there. We've already eaten as well. Y'all might want to sit down a moment though. I'll try to be brief, but I wanted to
Sure.
fill you in on all that's happened the last few weeks.
Of course. You see your father's just sort of finish up the dishes as he's washing and dry his hands, and he sits down at the table with Elaine. Your father kind of lights up a pipe, starts smoking as he says, "Oh, well, what's on your mind?"
I'll sit down also. So, well, first and foremost, I wanted to let you know that I spoke with Markram today.
You hear your mother's breath just catches in her throat, and she like immediately lunges forward and just grabs your arm. What happened?
He's okay. Well, he's kind of not in the best place mentally, I suppose, but he's not hurt. I'm not hurt either.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank the gods. Where is he?
Right now, he's well, I guess I can tell you he's with Degald, technically.
That
Up north.
bastard's still alive.
He's still alive. I just spent a few weeks with him.
Yeah, sure. You're all right.
A lot has happened today. Some of it I still need to think on for a while, but I just wanted to let you know that he's going to need some time, but I told Margrim to speak with you both.
Your mom just sort of grabs your head with each of her hands and just like pulls you forward and kisses your forehead. I knew you'd do the right thing.
There weren't any other options in the moment, but I'm glad you told me that. It kept it in my head, otherwise I might have jumped to the wrong conclusions.
Well, when he's ready, we'll be happy to see him home. But thank you for... I'm glad that the two of you are all right.
Sorry. Oh, Dad, I did want to ask. We might be going to Crankshaft Hold within the next week or so. Do you know anything about it's like a retirement, isn't that what it is? Like a retirement party?
Well, you know that's Tordir is going there as a retirement party. It's not necessarily there to be a retirement party.
Yeah, but like the common populace would probably know about it as a retirement party, right?
No,
Oh, do they know anything about it, or is this totally secret?
this is not a secret. So it's a it's a banquet being held by one of the heads of one of the big houses. Tordir Durandare happens to just be going because because he is doing it as sort of like a last hurrah before he retires, but he's not. It's not for him.
Oh, okay. Do you know anything about a banquet that's being held in Crankshaft in these next few weeks?
Oh, hi. This one's Stalgrip's soiree. Yeah, I know. I have an invitation.
Are you going to go?
I'd be foolish not to. Your mother and I will be there.
Well, I think I don't know if we're necessarily invited or what not, but I think we might have to be going as well.
What would you need to be going to a boring banquet for?
You know, making appearances.
Your eighth.
It is probably safer if you don't know why.
I think Dor just kind of gives you the shifty eye, like looking back and forth between Hiraeth and Goff. Half believing you, half doubting you, and then just after a moment just takes a puff of his pipe and says, "Alright, suit yourself. But it's going to be a boring affair. It's just going to be a bunch of dignitaries and big craftsmen."
I know.
We're going to have to put Goff in a suit.
No.
Is that what the Isles Goliaths wear? Suits?
I don't know
No.
what they wear.
don't.
I mean, I know that there's going to be a couple of dignitaries from the Isles coming, but
Oh.
No, they wear clan regalia, formal armor.
That's what I've heard. But it's going to be somewhat of a big event. Not only the Crankshaft board, but representatives from Arcadia and the Isles and even the Orc Nation. It's going to be
Oh.
there.
Seems like an awfully important collection.
Maybe we wouldn't. We wouldn't stand out so much. Wait. Maybe we wouldn't stand out as much as we thought if all of those people are going to be there.
Well, those are going to be the big players, but there's going to be certainly a lot of dwarves who are looking to rub elbows and make some contracts.
Kind of sounds like a headache.
Oh, you have no idea. I'm only going because, well, Highlands Futures wanted me to be there as a representative. It's my airships, after all. Have been the talk of the realm of late.
Do we know if Walden is going?
You do not know if Walden is going.
Might be worth asking if Walden is going.
Do you think?
What was that, Mel?
Oh, I can already see the dwarves trying to talk to the clan people about contracts for learning the White Stone.
Huh?
Oh, the Goliaths?
Yeah,
You mean the forge, the Moonstone Forge or whatever?
yeah.
The Moon Forge, yeah.
Yeah, the Moon Forge.
I can already see.
I mean, do they
the,
even
like-
know it? Do they even know it exists?
Probably. It's not a secret exactly.
Well, I mean, the Isles only recently reopened to,
Well, it's been like half a year at this point.
I guess.
So, you're looking for invitations then?
If we
These-
are.
Would we need to apply for some?
Oh no, I mean, I could certainly see if I could try to get you some, but I mean, I'm not going to be the most famous person at this little banquet, so I'm not sure how many I can get.
I mean,
You know,
now that we know that the Isles Goliaths are going, we do have their brother.
That's so.
If you're okay with that, Goff.
that might put Goff in a strange
Goff just,
position.
Goff just looks at Ellen like,
You know,
Really?
that's fair.
are we just going to tell everyone?
Oh,
Related.
Oh no, I forgot they didn't know.
It's not something I want to wear on my sleeve, Ellen. I thought you remembered that.
I don't think Goff needs to necessarily go in that way. I mean, we
I'm-
can we're already kind of well known in our own right. Maybe they'll just
Who
we'll
would
let
we
them
need
know
to
we're
ask?
interested in coming, and then they'll offer invitations to us.
Who is in charge of invitations?
Well, if you're looking to, I don't. The thing is, they're not exactly something you can petition for. Most of them are sent out to the well-known families, a limited number.
Hmm.
They tried to keep it fairly selective. The power players.
More
If
politics.
anybody if anybody from any of these countries is going to say that we're not power players, then we haven't been doing any of this right.
Aye, but that may be, but you can't very well waltz in and demand an invitation if you haven't already received one. Well, it might be difficult unless you have somebody who can vouch for you.
Hmm.
We have to vouch for us.
Well, like I said, I could see if I could swing in and get you an invitation.
We also know a few other movers and shakers. Maybe we can try and call in a few favors. Make it seem like it would be foolish for them not to invite us if so many people are recommending it.
Well, I'll put in the good word. See what I can do.
We'd
Thanks, Dad.
appreciate that.
Sir Lisvin will want some sort of arrangement, but I'll see what I can manage.
Hmm.
Thank you.
We definitely appreciate that. Thank you.
But like I said, this is going to be a boring night for all of you. You're not going to have a lot of fun.
Well, maybe we'd appreciate the
I
boring
think we
night.
can. I think we can do with a boring night.
Well, I mean, it's mostly just going to be rich people talking about money. It's going to be eating and drinking. That's about it. It's usually how these things go.
Well, we'll see.
Sometimes the
Maybe we can
the Smiths
conjure.
yeah. Sometimes the artisans get together and talk shop, but that's as bad as interesting as it gets.
Red, please.
What is happening? Where did the nose come from?
It wasn't there at the beginning.
Red is like the thing where it's like, we he 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 he
He hoo he hoo hoo hee. I mean, I feel like that's just Red's brain half the time.
Is Sissel gonna cause problems on purpose at this very stately banquet?
I mean, we are all going there to cause a problem on purpose.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the entire reason
Yeah. Okay.
we're.
All right.
I already can't remember if I was going to do anything else. Oh, I was going to say we're pretty good at finding our own entertainment.
Well, if you insist. I mean, like I said, it's gonna be a pretty subdued night.
Every time he says that, another finger on the monkey's paw curls in.
What is this? Red.
That's what you get for saying it's going to be super uneventful.
I hate this. It's just like
Nice.
it's like each one of these one of the blue hearts.
Wee hee hee hee.
God damn it.
Hee hoo.
Ooh, hoo, hoo. Ha ha ha. Hee hee. Ho ho. Alright. Is that so? Is that really all you wanted? You wanted an invitation to a boring party?
Oh, and to let you guys know I was okay.
Well, I knew you'd be fine. I'm glad for it.
But yeah. Maybe we also just want to go to a party.
Well, I can't stop you. I can certainly see what I can do to help you get in.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be much appreciated.
I mean, their lives are so exciting anyway. Maybe we could use a little bit of boring.
We could definitely.
Bit of a weird robot, Mel.
Yeah, Mel went into the hole.
Mel, like, came for the Matrix mid-speech.
Are you all just like running the like the sound suppression thing now? Is that what's happening?
Not.
Have I sounded weird?
Have I?
Slightly
Oh,
quiet,
my
Alex.
voice
I can
action
turn it
is on.
off. Oh, mine is off.
Right.
Does
Mine is
my
off.
voice
Yours
voice
sounds
ever
fine.
Yeah,
do
yours sounds fine.
me? I sound
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, because I've had this on. I've had it on since like the day I got it. And
Oh.
Yeah,
I haven't.
I've had it.
I've except for a couple times where like I make a noise that does not get picked up by the microphone, like, and I
Okay.
had to like say it again.
Because I've noticed lately, because Lauren started running it, and her voice cuts in and out sometimes now.
maybe Lauren just. I mean,
Hollers a lot.
the most significant problem I've noticed recently is that Mel's some microphone will suddenly just stop.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering if Mel started using the noise suppression. Maybe that's like.
Falk, I
I
don't think you're using it, and yours was kind of warbling a little bit
Oh,
earlier.
Oh yeah,
I'm not-
when you were first doing like, talking as Mogram when like we first talked to him at the beginning of the
Oh,
session,
shit.
you were still
This
still
one.
understandable, but like it was like going in and out of clarity a
I
little
kind
bit.
of liked it because it was almost like you were putting his voice through a sound filter.
Oh.
Yeah.
It kind of made him sound more manic than he probably
Yeah.
initially sounded. like
Okay.
it was more like breathy and desperate than I think it was intended.
No, it was supposed to be that way. Okay, so is that all right? So I'll see if I can get you those invitations. But if you have more famous friends than me, then maybe you could lean on them. I'll do what I can.
That would be good.
We'll just have to see what kind of favors we can call in.
Do you know if Dr. Walden is invited?
I wouldn't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was.
Alright.
Emoji.
Well,
Okay.
wish we could stay a little bit longer, but I think we have a few other things to rush off and do.
Well, don't let us keep you. You're busy people. But I'm glad that you stopped by, and I'm glad you let me know that you and Mugram are safe.
Expect him by. And, your grandfather, by the way, is expecting a badge. So, if you want to keep him off, if you want to surprise him, use something else.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, Mel. I didn't understand what you just said.
Sorry, I didn't really said that your grandfather is expecting you to greet him with a badge. So, if you want to surprise him, use something else.
Oh, he's gonna have the gall to show up here? Alright,
He-
time to get the axe out.
I think he's trying to make amends, so don't be too mean to him.
I'll just cut off a little bit.
Okay, well maybe that's better than he can ask for.
I promise I
Just
won't do
be
anything
mindful.
rash. Your mother would stop me anyway.
I'm almost more worried about her sometimes.
Hey, I only married into it.
Okay, well as long as you two know and you can mentally prepare.
Hey, well, thank you for letting me know. There's no surprises.
I will nod as it is time for us to take our
Alright. So you bid goodbye to your parents. Make your way back out into the cold Highland evening air. Where is your next stop?
Where is our next stop?
Melon wanna visit her kids?
Melon,
Melon?
melon children,
Melon children.
melon
Time
wife.
for
That's what we're-
melon children.
That's what we're gonna grow in front of the FC house when 5.3 drops.
Oh my
Melon.
god.
Melon children?
Melon
Yeah,
children.
melon children. Anyway,
Ellen has the rock that she took from the cave, so she can. So we can.
Oh yeah,
teleport.
you're gonna use your entangler to get there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You took a rock just so we have better accuracy.
yeah.
I think the rock
Yeah.
has to have been taken within the last month.
I mean, when was it? When did we drop Cerealing now?
It was like
Uh,
it was like right before. I swear to God, it was like really early, like really soon
You
before
dropped
we.
Cerulean off right before you went back to Arcadia, dealt with the whole insurrection thing, and then spent
Vulture.
3 weeks in the wilderness.
So it's been a month. Less than a month.
Well, let me look at this. So, how does this work? Familiarity. It doesn't say anything on here about. I always forget. Like this. There's so many words for teleport.
It's a big spelled off description.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, last 6 months. Okay, you're fine.
Okay.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay, yeah, so you have the item. You can easily teleport to the cave and make your way inside if that's what you wish to do. So,
Yeah.
you all link hands, break out the quantum entangler, use the rock as sort of like a focal point, and slap the big button on it, and you are immediately shunted off through space to the comforting darkness of the cave right before the big wooden door that leads into the pocket dimension. No mishaps whatsoever.
Fuck yeah.
Almost makes me more nervous when you say it.
Well, associated object is always 100% on target, so
I know, I'm just joshing.
no problem. But the door is ajar. No, I'm kidding.
Tell me more about the chair.
Tell me more about
The door is ajar. I thought it was a door.
Oh shit!
Oh my god, Red. Yuck.
um. So yeah, Ellen will unlock the door,
Okay.
but as she's unlocking it, she's just going to send a message to Cerulean and say, "Hey," and open the door.
Okay.
Hey.
Uh, hey. That's the only response, and that's the only spell you can send.
Wait, what? What's happening?
You open the door. It's nighttime here in the pocket dimension. The sky in this dimension seems to track what happens outside. You can see at the top of the hill on the cabin is the cabin appears to be lit. There is some candlelight pouring out the windows. Some people still seem to be awake, although a lot of the adjacent rooms where the beds are do appear to have lights out. So, what do you wish to do?
Do you want to head in?
Sure.
All
Sure.
right. Let's close the door behind us.
You close the door. You start heading up the hill toward the cabin. You see, sitting on the porch in a rocking chair, you see Moira, and she seems to be crocheting.
Oh, hey, Moira.
And she like jumps up from the chair and rushes down the hill to give you a big hug, Sissel, and just like scoop you up.
Sissel mom, Sissel mom, Sissel
So
mom.
long. How are you doing, dear?
Hi. Doing pretty okay. I've been busy doing stuff, but pretty okay.
By busy, do you mean getting your friends into trouble?
Well, I mean, you know.
Looks hard at Cecil.
Hey, it hasn't been me getting people into trouble lately.
It hasn't.
I've been good.
We do have to talk about how you know about the Lady of Change.
We'll
but
talk about that
that's-
later.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that not in front of my mother figure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mara just sort of shakes her head and like gives you a big hug and like ruffles your hair a little bit.
Mm-hmm. How have you been?
Did you eat already? We have a little bit of leftovers. The children are already in bed, I'm afraid.
I could eat some leftovers.
Oh, look, come inside, all of you.
I follow her.
Okay, so Moira leads you inside. Entering the kitchen area, the main area of the cabin, you see Agra and Cerilyn are sitting at the table. Cerilyn actually seems to be in much better spirits. She's smiling and she's eating. She's staying healthy. It's been a few weeks, obviously, since you last left her here. But it's just the three of them in the cabin right now. It appears that all the children have retired to their rooms for the evening. And as you enter, you see Agra, and she just sort of smiles and says, "Well, well, look who it is.
Hi.
You come for some home cooking?
I could always.
I'll fix you up a plate."
I love all these sassy dwarf women we're interacting with.
Yeah. And
Dwarven mother figures.
Cerilyn jumps up from the chair and runs over to you, Ellen, and just gives you a big, big hug and just like kisses you on the cheek. It's
She
good
just
to see
whispers,
you.
"Hey,
It's good to see you.
it's good to see you too.
How are you doing? Sit down.
It's been
1 week.
I was
the-
taking every muscle in my body to not
Oh,
say
how
it.
the tables turn. Wow.
It's been
It's been. We can't stop. We can't
Oh.
keep doing this.
Daniel, we can't.
I will
keep
never
doing this.
stop doing it. I will never change. I will never improve.
Good God.
Daniel. I'm
Ugh.
so proud.
I'm sorry. I'm a bad
Mel
DM.
brought that to me on a silver platter,
I know.
and I was still trying to resist.
I couldn't resist. I'm a bad DM.
I'm
Anyway, um,
Oh.
all right. So Sarah then leads you over to a chair, sits down with you, and just holds your hands. Meanwhile, Agra's over in a corner, fixing up a plate of food for you. I think Moira's helping her like get some food for everybody else as well. The rest of you can just sort of like sit down and hang out for a little bit. That's what you wish to do.
Yeah, I was just gonna be like, it's been a lot of. God damn it!
I stopped myself this time.
It's we've been pretty busy. Well, Heraith over there has been pretty busy, but I guess now, oddly enough, the next thing we have to do is attend a fancy party, which is a little weird. Strange change of pace.
That is strange, yes. But this might be a nice change of pace
I hope so.
from all the fighting and the
The danger.
danger. Yes.
Yeah. It's been. Yeah, God.
It's fine. Don't think about it.
It has been.
We're going to. I help.
Noel's locked himself in a mind loop.
I can feel Mel's like the wrinkles in Mel's brain just like straining against this conflict.
Trapped by the. Just caught in a bare naked lady's trap.
God damn it.
Yeah, Ellen is going to just say like it's good, but it's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too. Are you planning to stay tonight?
Tonight at least.
She smiles at that. They've missed you. The children have been fine. They've missed you too.
I'm glad it's at least safe here, and
Yes,
you.
they've been keeping busy. Moira's been
Good.
helping them with their studies.
It's not too boring here for them, is it?
No, I don't think so. They have them each other. They have books to read. Agra regularly goes makes trips to the to Evendell to pick up supplies and to find things for the kids to do.
That's good.
And we've been doing a little bit of gardening. I don't know if you noticed, planting a lot of crops and flowers.
I've seen. It's gorgeous. Well, I'll see more of it when the sun's up, I suppose. But um, I suppose Helena sort of looks at like the gathered adults. You should also know what happened in God, in Arcadia. How did I forget the name Arcadia? How did in Arcadia, since we last saw you, it's a lot. So if
Moira,
you
I think Moira chimes up and says, "Oh yes, we news travels fast. I think Agra overheard something last time she made a trip to Evendell. It was a few weeks back, right?
yeah, it was harrowing.
Well, it's a good thing we got out of the city then.
It is.
How are
And
those who stayed? Are they all right? How's the tavern?
the tavern is all right. Hogue got fairly severely injured um,
Hmm.
in
Is
the
he okay
initial
now?
riot. He's all right now, and if
That's
you believe it, when he was in his coma, um, I peeked in to see how he was doing. Uh, all he could dream about was being able to cook and eat with everyone he loved.
that sounds like Hulk.
I don't think we'll ever find a purer person.
No, I suppose not. Well, and I think Mara and Agra rejoin all of you at the table, passing out some plates of food. It looks like just something simple, just
Yeah.
some like roast chicken and some vegetables.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, you're welcome to stay the night. We're a bit, I will admit, we're a bit short on space, but
That's all right.
I don't think this cabin was ever intended to house so many people.
Probably not.
We're making do, though.
Yeah. Ellen sort of looks around and sees like her her old family and like her new family, and it's a really warm, really nice feeling. And yeah, like, and just as she eats, like, just sort of takes takes everything in.
Hmm. Yeah, it's certainly a very quiet, peaceful moment. Just listening as everyone chats at the table and discusses latest news and adventures and things that have been going on. You learn that the kids are doing all right. The older kids are looking after the younger ones. Particularly, Corey has been looking after people,
Good.
making sure everyone's doing all right. So is Luma. The younger kids have been doing well as well. Alisi has had fewer bad dreams of late. He has been a little bit more cheerful as well, surrounded by people who seem to enjoy his company and have fun with him. Arya as well. It seems to be getting along pretty well. Obviously has made fast friends with Luma as before, but also with Cecil, Wizard. And Cecil's apparently grown markedly less awkward.
Oh.
Good.
Character development.
Yay.
He just had to hang out with some lesbians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straightened him right out.
Wait,
I didn't. No, I meant the most base form of that statement. Any jokes beyond that were not intended. I mean, if anything, it would not straighten him out in that regard.
Oh,
Probably.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I'd say probably near the end of the night, you can retire to some beds. There's not a whole lot of beds. Everyone's just crammed in here.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's it. Anything else you want to do before you bed down for the night?
So I've done a lot today. It's
Yeah,
been
you-
a very eventful day.
Yeah.
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 We did things.
3 hours in the morning, and then just a
A
lot
bunch
of
of sitting
just
around.
sitting around. The Blue Hearts experience.
Hey.
3 hours in the morning and you almost die already, so you take the rest of the day off.
Damn, that would be me. Anyway,
Mood.
you wake up early the next morning as the sun rises within the pocket dimension. You can already hear the sound of people in the kitchen as Agras and Mara are fixing breakfast for the kids. I think probably Korea is also helping make breakfast. So as you all rouse to consciousness and come out into the main room, I'd say probably Luma, Ilarin, and Elise immediately rush up to Ellen and just give her a big old hug. Just surround her, essentially. Arya runs up to you, Sissel.
Hey.
Really delighted to see you. Korea, I think, gives a smile and a wave to you, Goff, just to acknowledge you. But she's in the middle of, like, making food for everybody.
Yeah.
I think Cecil is just kind of off to the side. He's more like an employee, but he doesn't really know how to react in this situation.
Oh.
But yeah,
We did get permission from his parents, right?
yes, you did.
Okay. I just remembered, like, wait.
Accidentally kidnapped a child. Haha.
Ellen's
The Blue Hearts
accidentally
kidnap a
kidnapped
child.
Always Sunny title card.
Da, 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 da. Yeah. All right. So what do you want to do this morning?
What was on a big list of things? We need to start talking to people about getting.
There is a big list of things and a lot of stuff that we need to worry about.
Do you want me to send you
Now,
after the end of this session? I'll post the big list of
God, we basically
lingering
need a
plot
spreadsheet
threads.
at this point.
That would help.
Yeah, I can certainly provide that. I have a list.
But I think for now, Ellen will want to have breakfast with her whole family together for
Okay.
the first time.
For the first
in
time in a long time.
Oh.
a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Ellen, you certainly you sit down, surrounded by old family and new, in the place where you grew up, and it feels warm. It feels right. Um, it feels like maybe this is something that your parents were never able to give you, but probably wanted to.
This is Ellen just like keeps this like snapshot of everyone around the dinner table, like where everyone's sitting, everyone's like talking and however loud it is with like the 5 kids, and she just like holds that image in her head and like stores it away.
All right.
I hate to be that person, but
Yeah.
in most works, that would be referred to as a death flag.
Oh no.
No, no,
Don't. No.
no,
Not allowed. You all have death ward.
Not
not
Ellen.
not Ellen.
Ellen.
It's fine. She has Goth,
Yeah.
unless she gets disintegrated. Well, no, you have Triz Resurrection. It's fine.
Yeah,
You just don't have the money for it.
I don't.
True Res is like 50 grand.
Is it?
25 grand.
It's expensive.
It worth of diamonds.
We could raid a vault.
Yeah, you're gonna be raiding a vault soon.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like we don't have as much money as we should for level 17.
You're right,
adventuring
which is why I'm
party.
gonna resolve that once you
That's
go
why we're
raid the
raiding a
fucking
vault.
company
That's
vault.
why we're raiding a
Like,
vault.
I feel like we
Listen,
should
this is
be
Tom.
swimming in gold right now.
Tom, this is the first campaign I've ever ran. I fucked up on some things.
Hey,
I haven't been
you
that
did
bothered by
pretty good.
anything. I haven't really been bothered by most things. But I do think that we should have way more spending money. Like when the adventure's almost
So-
over.
I agree. It's just the hard part is finding
I
excuses to
know.
make treasure troves because like it's not like y'all are raiding tombs all the time. So it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
find excuses. All right. So you spend a nice morning enjoying a breakfast and some time with your kids and loved ones. They show you around the garden and show you some of like the vegetables they've been planting, and some of the flowers and other plants.
I feel like
That's
Goff would like want to tag along on that field trip.
yeah.
Off what?
Being
Tag along
shown
on what? What now?
being shown like the garden and everything they planted.
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
occupation.
It's just basic crops, just things to sustain them. Moira, obviously, being a druid, is able to accelerate the growth of those plants and keep the soil healthy and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I forget that Moira is a druid.
Apparently a very powerful one who just has never had to flex her powers.
Yeah,
She's humble that way.
She had to be powerful to raise Sissel.
it's
Yeah.
true. It is very true. Okay. So how long do you want to spend with the fam? Or otherwise, like getting ready for the next leg of your journey?
I think half a day, Alan will
Okay.
look at everyone else and be like, "Is it alright if we maybe leave after lunch?"
Sounds good to me.
I'll not.
Okay. So you take the rest of the morning, you spend some quality time with your children and your wife. The rest of you spend some time either with one another or with those who you care about who are here. And then after about lunchtime, you have a nice full lunch, and then start making plans to head out. So, what is your next destination?
What is our next destination?
So how many? We have like 6 or 7 days until the party.
I'd say at this point, probably 6 days, yes.
So our main goals are we need to get invitations and we need to get outfits, and also a reason why we're there.
Yep.
So.
And maybe also touch base one more time with Will Red for any further intel, because he was looking into it.
Should we ask Walden
Yeah, we can
if
ask
he's
Walden.
going?
Oh yeah.
We can probably
Sorry, go on.
send him a message or something. Maybe. I don't
Maybe.
know. Should we send him a message or just head there?
We're just gonna go talk to Walden about invitations or him going. Is that what we're doing?
Him going in to see if he could maybe get us some invites. If he's going.
If he's going.
Do you want me to send him a message?
Birthday, please.
Wait, did we sleep? Long rest?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're all
sorry.
rested. You're all good to go.
How many hit dice do I get back on that? Oh, what? It doesn't matter.
Half of your total.
Half of your total, yes. So if you haven't even spent half of your total, you get all of them back.
I spent a ton, thinking
Okay.
there's going to be more combat.
Yeah, I tricked y'all.
Damn. Hoodwinked
I
by
mean-
the DM.
Who knew?
It looked like there was gonna be more combat for us. It could have possibly gone to more combat.
It could have if you all wanted to fucking fight.
Yeah, I can't believe spent the entire campaign preparing to fight Magram and we didn't even get to actually fight him. I mean, we did, but it was.
And now he's blasting My Chemical Romance from his great
Oh,
grandpa's
he's
room.
depressed.
I know.
Listen,
I know.
yeah. Oh my god.
Okay. That's one of my karaoke songs.
Yeah, it
I didn't even
is.
listen to MCR growing up, but I like singing that in karaoke.
God.
I can't wait until the plague is over and karaoke. I can feel safe doing karaoke.
So like 2030?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so is Goff sending a message to Dr. Walden?
Oh yeah. What time of day is it?
It's, it's the morning. Well, no, actually now it's the afternoon. It's like after lunchtime.
Okay, so he should be awake.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll send a message to say. Wait, we're not in Arcadia yet, right?
No, you're not.
We're heading back to Arcadia. We'd like to ask you a couple questions. Will you be available? But Goff style, but I
Yeah.
brain.
No problem.
Open Goff style.
He responds and says,
Shut up.
he
Please.
says, I should be free. I'm not in the workshop though. Meet me at the airship dock.
All right, I will tell the party he's at the airship dock.
All right.
Alright, are we teleporting there or are we doing the circles?
Oh, we could use a circle.
We have the
Oh, the-
registered point.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
You
well,
have
the
the escape
wormhole.
rope.
we have the wormhole, the
Oh
return.
yeah.
We have the
Worm.
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone. It is a Hearthstone. Holy shit.
Wormhole.
Okay, so you're using the wormhole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, easy enough. You pull the wormhole device out, slap the button, and all of you are shunted through space and pulled through this wormhole and warped right into the safety of your teleportation circle room. So you step out onto the cold stone floor. You can hear the sound of patrons up above looking for midday meals. But it seems pretty lively here in the Dapper Snapdragon. People are enjoying themselves, having a nice meal and a drink for the afternoon. Your employees look busy. You can see Hulg in the back cooking up a storm. I'm assuming at this point you're going to head to the airship dock, unless there's anything else you want to take care of first.
Nothing I can think of.
So
Okay, cool. You head to the airship dock. On the way there, you notice there are obviously a lot more patrols in the city now of military. It's been about a month since the Wolf and the Vulture struck, and seems like safety is the top priority here. You pass by the locale where Gerald Rubin's luxury apartment penthouse used to be. It's still there, but it appears to be just like a public housing place now, with a lot of the working class or homeless people able to have, who are just now living there, and the city's not doing, like, they're just letting them live there at this point. You make your way to the dockside. You see that the damage to the airship dock has been repaired. Ascending up the lift to the apex, you find the Silver Strings, Dr. Walden's airship. And you see him overseeing some work being done, not only on the Silver Strings, but an adjacent airship. You also notice with him is the Black Song, Vila Azur. She is also there, assisting him in directing not only flesh and blood workers, but constructs in what appear to be a vast amount of alterations to these two airships. It looks like they are being fortified with all kinds of armor plating, as well as having massive artillery embankments installed on them. So as you're approaching Dr. Walden, who's like kind of looking over a checklist on a clipboard, looks up from it, and he sees all of you approach and says, "Well, that was quick.
well, you know us. We get around.
Always punctual. So, what can I help you with? I have a bit of a project on my hands here, but hopefully I can spare a few moments."
So, there's this party in Crankshaft Hold. Where are you going?
You don't mean Stout Grip's party? Yes, I'm going.
Do you think you can get us in?
Why would you want to go to that place? It's so boring.
Yeah, well, we've got the reasons, and maybe we can use a little bit of boring, you know?
I've known you all for a little over a year now, and you especially, and he points at you, Sissel, are not the kind of person to suffer boring. You're going to make trouble, aren't you?
Not openly.
Wouldn't you welcome it?
Well, if it gives the triumvirate a headache, yes, I would be perfectly happy for you to cause trouble.
You're the best.
So what are you looking for? You're looking for invitations?
Yes.
I think I can swing that.
Thank you.
No.
Of course, it means Vila here will not be able to attend, and he looks over at Vila, and Vila just is like, "It is quite all right. I'm fine with not attending. I have work to do here anyway." So is that all? You just need invitations? I can do that easy.
I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much. Is there like a dress code? Besides just, formal?
Formal wear. You can probably swing at least, and he looks over at Mito and Verna and he says, military folk could probably swing wearing armor in, but otherwise I think you'll be frowned upon.
Oh, I've got something. Otherwise, we can go shopping.
Very well. I might. And he looks over at Vila and then to the rest of you and he says, we might need your help soon.
Oh,
Mhm.
Ooh.
He nods over at the airships that are being outfitted into being these, like, weapons of war. And he says, we're planning a bit of expedition into the frozen wastes, if you catch my
all
drift.
right. Yeah.
Huh?
Once we're certain these babies are capable of knocking a dragon out of the air, we might have...
Mm.
It sounds like revenge.
We might need... we might come calling.
That'll.
I nervously await that moment.
I'd be interested.
I'd be interested.
All right,
You know,
then.
for reasons.
We'll get there soon enough. We'll save this one's mother. He nods in Vila's direction. But we wouldn't do it without you.
Well, I would hope
course.
not.
No, we would die if we did it without you, I think.
Let's do our best to make it out of everything alive.
All right. We'll come calling when we need to. In the meantime, I'll see about getting you those invitations. I'll drop by your tavern probably a day or two prior to the banquet. After all, I need to make travel there myself. So,
Of course.
but I loathe these occasions. So, any entertainment you can provide will be most welcome.
We'll see. We'll play it by
We'll
ear and
see.
see how it goes.
Our entertainment, we're trying to keep away from as many public eyes as we can, but if you happen to notice something,
Well, say no more. Wouldn't want to spoil the surprise.
of course.
All right. Well, I have to go back to overseeing these flying death fortresses.
That's your specialty.
Oh, you know it. And kind of winks at you.
We'll see you. We'll see you in a bit then.
Okay. All right. All right. So I think at this point, well, you still have a little bit more preparation to make, but it is running a little late. I think what we'll do is we will say that that's a good place to end tonight's session, and then next time we can pick up with the final preparations and the actual banquet.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Boy.
Hey, y'all want to go to a wrestling match?
Yes.
Oh, is it
I
happening
do.
now?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's happening
it
now.
started.
Hell yeah.
I'm stop recording.